mediocre, but I'm going to give you the best effort I possibly can.
This is the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee on 95.7 The Game.
The 3-2. Bryant rips it, and it's a fair ball. That one's going to head into the corner, and Kris Bryant is going to put the Giants ahead. He'll dig for second and make it there easily. Two huge hits late in this game. For the newest Giant, Kris Bryant, it's 5-4.
Oh, baby. Welcome to a Frisco Friday here on the Morning Roast. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, Vontae Hill, Kate Scott at the Olympics. And the Giants do something they haven't done since 1941, which is come back from a 4-run deficit in the 9th inning and win a baseball game. They win 5-4, dramatic fashion. That was Kris Bryant with the RBI double in the 10th inning, top of the 10th inning. Fleming on a call for NBC Sports Bay Area. But I thought the Lamont Wade Jr. at bat in the ninth inning was special to tie the game. We'll play that in just a second here. But, Butch, we got a lot to get to before we hit to the weekend. Kelly Oubre Jr.'s gone officially. We'll get to what we talked about yesterday with Draymond Green and Ben Simmons. Trey Lance had the day off of practice.
Yes.
There's no hype train going on there. John Lynch is in Canton, Ohio, about to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. But this, man, the Bay Area is on fire right now with the stuff that is coming up in the future.
All right. I rarely do this. This is not a ploy. You need to go to the 957 The Game YouTube page or the Instagram or the Twitter right now, and you need to see the Big Steppin' Challenge. I just seen John Curley, our producer, do the Big Steppin' Challenge from Stunna Man. It is a movement that's going on the internet right now. This is the greatest Friday we've ever had. I mean, the win yesterday by the Giants was absolutely incredible. And that Lamont Wade Jr. at bat coming down 4-0 in the top of the ninth, that's just incredible. But that was not as incredible as John Curley doing the Big Stepping Challenge. One of the whitest things I've ever seen in my life.
He was so serious. He dipped the knees. He moved the feet. He was big stepping. He goes, we're like, yo, we want you to do the Big Stepping Challenge. Stunna Man. He goes, oh, Jordan Gomes? Just gives out his full government name. Oh, yeah, I know Jordan Gomes. Yeah, Jordan Gomes, yeah, let's big step. He goes, so he's like, did Joe put he goes, you walk out the studio and goes, hey, Bonte, did Joe put the Big Step challenge on there? Call it the Big Step Challenge.
It's great. It's so great.
I just big stepped. Hey, Langford, I just did the Big Step Challenge.
All right.
I was wondering what the hell was going on outside of the window as I'm doing the show. I'm doing Langford's long balls every 5:45 at Friday, 957 The Game, Stephen Langford. But I was doing it, and I was like, what is happening? Are you demonstrating how to row while standing up? Like, what is Curly doing? It is the worst thing I've ever seen. I feel bad for you, John. I really do.
It's great.
It's the most cringe thing I've ever had to lay eyes on.
It's great.
And he's got some street cred now, Langford. Doing that Big Stepping Challenge the way he did, his street cred just went through the roof. It went through the roof.
Hey.
He can walk through any hood now in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, it's like completely gone, you mean? The street cred is just out of this world?
Or that. Giants come back. Last time the Giants won a game entering the ninth inning with no runs.
Unreal.
And down by 4 or more. June 8th, 1941 versus the St. Louis Cardinals when the Giants were in New York City. Don't you remember that?
Yeah, Marty Leary was doing an 8-hour pregame and postgame show that day.
You better leave Uncle Marty alone, man.
I'm just teasing.
I'm kidding.
But here's the thing. Like, we're going to get into the whole thing on the Giants, and obviously you got Guido today. I'm really excited to talk to him about the 49ers and whatnot. But the number one thing for me, forget the comeback itself. Multiple times in this game, I was like, damn, we got Kris Bryant in this lineup. And I was just like, it hasn't even set in. Like, it really hasn't even sunk in that, like, wow, they really did acquire Kris Bryant. And it's just such a great acquisition. And for me, you can't talk about that ninth inning without that giant double down the line to start the entire rally.
No doubt. Shout out to King Shannon 3. At King Shannon _3 on Twitter. That's my guy. Shannon won a state championship with City College of Pride of Mission High School. His dad, actually, Big Bill, big time coach out here. He's out there listening. He's saying they talking Stunna Man, Big Stepping on 95.7 The Game at 6 a.m. That's what we do on the roast. You never know what you're gonna get from us. We get a little rap, get a little country, get a little rock, get a little baseball, get a little football. You get a little bit of everything.
So here's what I want to propose to all of the artists that are out there making unbelievable music. Because right now there's like a Frisco renaissance when it comes to rap music.
Yep.
The Phil-Mo. I just need the clean version so that we can play them on the radio here.
Yeah,
so send them to my DMs, ButcherBoy415, on all those outlets. No, sir, for real. No. Send them to my DMs so we can play them, but I can only find the explicit versions. I need the clean cut.
I'm going to hit up LeBron right now, Mo Bettichetta, and be like, yo, I need a clean version.
We need
it.
it.
Play on the station.
Absolutely.
Hard hitter Kareem, hard hitter Mayfield. Yo, we need a clean version of Mo Bettichetta.
Absolutely.
Philmo. We need that.
And
Larry June. We need some clean versions.
Hey, the young lot trying to survive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great videos coming out right now.
No doubt.
Hey, but I'm telling you, does Kris Bryant know not to say San Fran? Because I'm watching him in the postgame show, and he's talking about how they're going to go back to Milwaukee. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive from Milwaukee to Chicago.
Yep.
And I guess his wife is gathering all the things and he's going to try to come back out here. But he can't wait to come to San Fran. And I'm thinking, God, if only you had a local like one of us to say, dude, no, just call it Frisco. Homie.
So who was on the pre and post? Was it Papa Nestes?
Yeah, Papa Estes, great guy.
Great
I actually
guy.
hung out with him at the Olympic Club for the Women's U.S. Open.
Right.
He's a great guy.
Remember you told me that.
He's a great guy.
We got to check them to check Bryant on not to say San Fran.
Yeah,
it is a no-no out here. We got tweets about it yesterday. Whenever somebody says San Fran,
right.
for some reason we get
so
linked up saying, hey, Bonte and Butch, so-and-so said San Fran. Yeah, you know what? That's a no-no out here. So we will get to Kris Bryant. Let us get to Kris Bryant here, and we will do that.
Getting back to this Stunner Man thing from John Curley, he retweets my tweet and says not all Olympians are in Tokyo.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my
It
gosh.
might be the greatest single tweet he has ever created.
I didn't think he had that in him. That is unbelievable.
If I was ranking, if we had the palettes of all the colors, you can't get any whiter than John Curley. Yet somehow, some way, we have found his hip-hop wheelhouse.
Hey.
It's the Stunner Man Big Step Challenge.
It's better that you say it than me. It's better that you say it than me. Because I look at Curly sometimes, I'm like, man, you are white. Like, super white.
I love him, though.
No, I love you, too, man. I ain't mad at that, man. But he is the palest white, too.
The way his face is looking and how serious it is.
Good.
The eyebrows are down, and then he turns around, and he still looks just as confused as he did when you first saw his face. His face is all scrunched up.
It's incredible.
Dude, he's hitting it like it's the Super Bowl or something. Like he's getting ready for a Game 7 or something. It's like, I got to hit this and I got to hit it right. Hold on. We can take it to everybody behind the scenes. That was take 2 because take 1, his pants was falling down and he's like, Shasky, you can't post that. My pants are falling down. I'm like, Curly, that's going to make it even better. He goes, no, I need to tighten my belt. Let's do another take. I'm like, you want to do another take? Your knees are about to go out with the way you're hitting the big stepping.
And he says to me, I'm in construction. It's like, nah, the way those pants were falling off, you look like a plumber.
888-957-9570, man. Oh,
hey, but on the real, back to Kris Bryant.
Big stepping challenge, by the way. It's coming to the studio near you next week.
We're getting him in next week.
Yeah, no
absolutely.
Doubt.
But I want to say Kris Bryant, he's a stud. He's a stud, dude. They haven't, and you and I have kind of talked about this. Like, what was the best right-handed power bat that they've had in the lineup, since Jeff Kent? And Posey's great. I'm not here to say anything. Posey's great, but
Jeff Kent, Matt Williams are the two best in my life. Kevin Mitchell.
What about?
Three.
I was going to say Moises Alou for that little short period of time.
It felt like he was out past his prime. But I hear you. I hear you.
And
that's a good one.
Pat Burrell had a year.
He had a year.
It wasn't even a full year that year.
It was a year.
And then Hunter Pence was really good for 2 years. And I don't want to diminish him. But, Kris Bryant has more God-given talent than Hunter, don't you think?
No doubt. And
I'm not diminishing Hunter. Hunter's awesome. But, Kris Bryant is a phenom. He's a number 2 overall pick.
No doubt. Coming out, he was a can't-miss prospect.
Right?
A can't-miss prospect who's got an MVP now, who's got a Rookie of the Year. He's got a World Series ring. And for him to start that rally.
Incredible.
In the night that because they were dead. They were lifeless. You're thinking, they're going to get a split against Arizona. Now you got to go to Milwaukee. You're seeing their top 2 guys, Woodruff and Burns, right off the bat in Milwaukee. So how can you get to Sweden? Alex Wood just goes out there and just stinks it up. He stinks it up. And I'm just thinking, damn, is this game already over? But it's one of those games you just keep on because it's an afternoon game. Mm-hmm. There's nothing really on. And he ropes that double to start the rally in the ninth inning. And you're like, you know what? You got action now.
I know.
And they did have action, but I didn't think they were going to pull it off after Buster Posey struck out. I was just like, hey, Buster, you got to hit one of those 88-mile-an-hour change-ups or splitters, whatever clipper it was throwing up there. I thought Lamont Wade Jr.'s at-bat was one of the best at-bats we've seen all season.
Yes.
Langford, if you could cue that up for me. He was down 0-2. 0-2, fouls off the first 2 pitches. Then he's just ball. Then he fouls one off. Another ball. Then he fouls it off again. He fouls it off. And then on the 8th pitch, ropes a single to right field to tie the game. Langford hit it.
3-2. Wade rips it into right field. That's a base hit, and that's going to tie the game. Crawford's in. Here comes Duggar. He'll score. 4-4, and the Giants are still going in the 9th inning. What an at-bat from Lamont Wade.
Lamont Wade Jr., 3-2 count, 2 outs down to his final pitch. Arizona thinks they're going to escape after the Giants loaded the bases with no outs. Wilmer Flores pops up. Of course, the Buster Posey strikeout. Lamont Wade Jr., the calmness in the batter's box, and you see it trickle down from Buster Posey to Kris Bryant, to Yaz, to Brandon Crawford, and Lamont Wade Jr. just stand back there and roping that changeup to right field. Unbelievable at bat. You just felt like, Shasky, this may be their year. There's something special going on.
I feel like I've said 16 or 17 times this year, that might be the best win of the season. Like, that's when you know you're having one of those career years across the board for your entire organization. Like, I don't know if it's the best win because there's been other games against, teams that are clearly better. But down 4-0 in Arizona when you've been completely locked down. Let's be real. The guy looked like Clemens out there who was going up against him. And for them to do that was a big time win because 2 out of 2 in Arizona stinks. 3 out of 4 in Arizona, wow, you feel so much better.
Here's what Kris Bryant said after the game about that victory.
There's never any panic. Anybody can step up anytime. And we really saw that in the ninth there. I think those are some of the best at-bats that I've seen just in my career. I mean, a lot of really good at-bats, guys coming through. Thought we had no business winning this game, and we stole it from them.
And that's what you do in the month of August. During the dog days of August, Shasky, we always talk about it. It's hot. It's humid. Pitchers are tired. Arms are falling off. Guys are banged up. It's got all these nicks and bruises. And you're just trying to get to September.
Yeah.
You're trying to get to the final month with some life and in first place or in the race. These are the type of games that happens in August. It does.
Yes.
You got to steal some games here and there. Arizona's playing for nothing. They're playing with house money. The Pirates are playing for nothing. They're playing with house money. The Rockies, these are the type of games you're going to have to win in the month of August, and that's a mark of a good team to come back like the way they did. Hadn't done it since 1941 with no runs going into the ninth inning down by at least 4. Haven't done it since 1941, but games like that, when you can steal those games, think about that flight to Milwaukee right now.
Dude. Rallying the troops. They're probably big stepping now, to be honest with you. No, but on the real...
Lucille was big stepping. You saw that?
What's that?
Lucille was big stepping.
Dude, Stunner Man got them all big stepping. I seen some ladies, it looked like they were walking the dusty trail up at Twin Peaks, and they're all big stepping with the walking sticks. And I'm like, dude, this thing is taking off, dude.
It's unbelievable.
It really is. So, but honestly, I'm watching Tommy La Stella, and I'm like, dude, maybe I underrated how much of a shot in the arm his return would be. Playing great defense at third, made a hell of a diving catch, and he gives you a great professional at bat. It gives him someone from the left hand side, inside that infield, outside of Crawford, and then Brandon Belt's return. I thought he had great at bats.
Yeah, he did.
I thought he had great at bats, and I think you're looking at this lineup and you're like, dude, they just got a ton of dudes that'll work the count, can swing with 2 strikes, and are just professional hitters. A year ago, would you have 2, 3 professional hitters? I'm just being honest.
Yeah, no. You know what? Our boy Harry Barrison was tweeting yesterday.
What was he saying?
About this lineup. And he goes, is this the deepest lineup in our lifetime? When you think about it? Think about the bench yesterday. On the bench alone, Posey, Yaz,
crazy,
Darren Ruff, Wilmer Flores, Steven Duggar, and Tyro Estrada. I can't think of a Giants bench like that in my lifetime. I'm talking with Barry Bonds, Matt Williams, Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell, Jeff Kent, Richard, all those teams. Think about that. Think about that bench yesterday. Kapler's like, you know what? It's getaway day. I'm going to start Lamont Wade Jr., Tommy La Stella, Kris Bryant, Alex Dickerson, Brandon Crawford, Solano, Belt, Casali, and Wood. And I'm going to be good.
Dude.
And you have Posey, Yaz, Ruff, Flores, Duggar, Estrada on the bench. They are loaded with this lineup.
They absolutely are. There's no other way around it. This team is stacked. And I know they don't have the quote-unquote sexy 23, 24, 25-year-old superstars. They just got a lot of professional hitters that rake. Look at how balanced their RBIs are throughout the team.
Yep.
Okay, Crawford has 64, but then after that, Yaz with 45, Wilmer Flores with 39, Dickerson 35, Posey with 35, Lamont Wade Jr. with 32. They're not going to have one guy with 140 RBIs like Juan Gonzalez for the 0-2 Texas Rangers, for example. But they just got a ton of dudes who, when their number is called, step up there and they're just clutch and they drive guys in. And so you're just seeing throughout that lineup, it's a tough at-bat and guys that are willing to grind through, find the pitch that they're looking for, and hit it hard.
No doubt.
And that's all you can ask for. 2 doubles in the 9th inning and beyond for Kris Bryant. I'm telling you, this guy is... Having him in the lineup has changed everything for everyone else.
It stabilized the lineup. He was 3 for 5 yesterday with those 2 doubles, and he hit those doubles hard.
Yes.
Hard with the 1 RBI. He plays center field
Isn't
yesterday.
His swing
Dude,
just
it's
absolutely
so
incredible.
It's so sweet. Center field, third base, and he's a guy that I know Farhan's working, and it's a Scott Boras client, so he's going to want his money, but he looks like he's worth it because he could play all over the diamond. He could play all over the field. And that presence, he's big. He's got that number 23 on. He just looks like a dude. He looks like a dude, and he's re-energized his dugout as they head to Milwaukee today.
Is he the best physical specimen, like athlete-wise, the Giants have had in 20, 25 years?
Since Barry Bonds.
Yeah, but Bonds was old at the end. I'm saying at the end. Like, I'm talking about in his prime. Like, I can't think of too many. Fred Lewis was a great athlete. Not sure he was better athlete than Kris Bryant. Kris Bryant can literally play 5-6 positions and be... The talent is effortless.
Yeah.
Like, he has a very effortless level of talent. I think he could, if he wanted to, it looks like he could play wide receiver. Looks like he's got such great hand-eye coordination. Who knows what he is as a basketball player, but like, he's just a great athlete.
He is a great athlete. I mean, what a trade too. Like, you think about, I don't even remember who they traded for. Dude with a Sammy Sosa swing? All right, whatever. Maybe we'll see it 4 years from now. I have no idea. But we had never heard of these prospects.
It's unbelievable.
And you're lying if you said you did.
I know.
You're lying if you said you did.
And if you're Farhan, I think you have to have the check ready to go.
The check is ready to go.
Right?
You don't think Larry Bear is thinking of a way to promote Kris Bryant? What is he going to do? Brendan Bell's got his giraffe hats.
Yes.
Panda, Pablo Sandoval had his panda hats.
I like the shades for him.
The shade look?
Yeah, because he wears those like Oakleys, but they're like, I don't know, is that chameleon? What's that called? Fluorescent?
The Oakley, it's like the tents or whatnot.
Guy.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're flossy.
They are sick.
They are sick.
But you can only wear them on the like if you have to be Pat Mahomes to be able to wear something like that.
You can't be.
Your boy Joe over here can't just roll up wearing the chameleon glasses.
Right. Vontae Hill can't roll into somewhere wearing those type of glasses.
I'll tell you who can.
Stunner
Curly.
man.
Yeah, Curly.
Well, Curly now?
Big stepping, with the stunner shades.
You know what? I could see Curly walking into the studio with the stunner shades now. You don't think his swag is on 1,000 right now
100%.
after doing that big step challenge?
He might have a sponsorship deal lined up for him.
He couldn't believe it. He goes, hey, Steven, did you see my big step challenge? Did you see the big step challenge? Curly's feeling himself right now. The Giants are feeling themselves right now. They remain in first place, pick up a half game on the Dodgers. They're now 4 up on the Dodgers, Shasky. 4 up on the Dodgers.
Crazy.
And we got a legit pennant race between the Giants and the Dodgers. This is incredible, man. Like, every time you think this team is down and out, and I felt like you talked about them having a win like that, and you said, man, I've said this 25 times. That's the best win of the season.
It's incredible.
I felt like I've tweeted this a million times where I'm like, this team just never gives up.
Ever.
They just never give up.
In terms of like most surprising season across sports, right? Just most surprising season, we believe is going to have a special spot in a lot of people's hearts because that team was dead in the water, made a big time trade, and it just took over. Now they didn't end up obviously winning it at all, but like we hold that team in such a special place in our heart, right? And 2015 Warriors, you could see they were ascending. I'm not saying you could see them winning the championship, but you could see that they were ascending, and with that, I had 0 expectations for this team to make the playoffs. Dude. And maybe I was just way wrong.
No.
Like the 2011 Niners, like even if you hey, if everything went right, if Alex could get it right, they could be a little over 500, and they superseded my expectations, right? That 2011 Niners.
Right.
I can't think of a particular Giants team, and I know people are going 2010. I watched them every day. They had good players. They had an elite pitching staff. They had the current Cy Young guy back to back.
The most surprising team in Giants history is probably this one.
Wouldn't it?
Second will probably be the 1997 Giants when they won the NL West.
That's another good one.
Remember coming off the strike and they were down in 96. They lost all that momentum. Nobody was going to the stick. They came out hot like 13-3 or something like that.
Traded away Matt Williams.
And
everyone thought that was them waving the white flag.
Right, and they were like, get Sabian out of town. How dare you trade for Jeff Kidd?
FireSabian.com.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
God, the early days of the internet.
The internet. So 97 Giants, this team, like when you just think about the Bay Area in general, 2014-15 Warriors, but they had momentum going to the playoffs, right?
Yes.
You kind of knew they would be a playoff team. This may be the most surprising Bay Area team in the last 30 years. No joke. Across all sports.
I don't think
Sharks, A's, Niners, Raiders. Like, the 2016 Raiders were pretty surprising. When they made the playoffs.
Really surprising.
Right.
You know what? You're right. I forgot.
But this is up there, Shasky.
This is up there.
This is like a top 3 surprising team in Bay Area in the last 30 years.
Look, maybe I just downplayed Posey. I didn't think he had a season like this in him left. I just didn't.
What about Crawford?
I mean, Crawford's season's been unbelievable. It's been unbelievable.
Did you think Kapler would be loved like this in the Bay Area?
It's got a Jim Plunkett-esque feel to it where you thought the guy's career was going in one direction, and then obviously Plunkett goes from the Niners to the Raiders and completely rejuvenates himself. And Craw having this year at the end it's spectacular. It really is.
The 2012 A's, according to the 925, that's a good one, too.
That's a good one, really good one. Part of why the Jerry Rice lore is what it is, and I'm not saying Crawford's Jerry Rice. Just relax here for a second. But part of what makes Jerry Rice so incredible was when the Niners got rid of him and allowed him to be a free agent, he went to the Oakland Raiders and had spectacular seasons at the end where you're like, dude, look at those age 39 and 40 seasons. And it's like, wow. And that, to me, like, those are more impressive than even his singular best seasons. And that's kind of how I'm looking at Craw. Like, forget all these other years. This might be the best one he's ever had.
No doubt. 707 2019 49ers as well. Nobody saw that one coming. With Shanahan and company. That's a really good one as well.
That's a good call.
And don't forget, now through September 3rd, get training camp insights every Monday and Friday at high noon with San Francisco Training Camp Live, hosted by Joe Shasky and myself. Find out who's hot, who's hurt, and who will make an impact come week number 1. Follow San Francisco Training Camp Live exclusively on the Odyssey app, Mondays and Fridays at high noon. You can also access the show on demand wherever you get your podcasts. Odyssey is your home for all sports, podcasts, music, and news that matter to you. Download the Odyssey app today. Look, good morning to everybody out there on YouTube, Twitch, text line. We're going to have a fun Frisco Friday here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. We're going to open this bad boy up to everybody out here in the Bay Area, hell, in the country. Coming up, Gabe's World on the Roast.
An important message from Kaiser Permanente. Thanks to new federal funding, you may be...
and they flipped Sean Anderson from Lamont Wade Jr. from the Minnesota Twins. Nobody knew who this guy was, and all he's done is step up, hit 13 jacks, and come up with a big hit like he did yesterday. Down 0-2 with 2 outs, battles back into a full count, and then ropes to change up the right field off of Tyler Clippard to tie the game yesterday. Kris Bryant 3 for 5. He had the game-winning RBI double in the top of the 10th inning, and the Giants steal one from the Arizona Diamondbacks in 10 innings, 5-4. But before we get to Gabe's world, we just want to shout out Ray Fosse. He's been calling A's games since 1986, been a color analyst since 1986. And when you think of A's baseball, you think of Ray Fosse.
He's the face. That's
he
what
is their
Townie
Mike
would call him.
Krukow,
Yeah.
the Kuiper. He is and I got to meet him a couple times at NBC this year, Shasky. I never met him before. Bonte, how you doing, man? Great work. Love what you guys doing on the morning. Just a real cool dude. I was like, damn, what's up, Fosse? He's a living legend to us.
I know.
When we turn on A's games, it's always Fosse. And he knows his baseball. He calls it straight down the middle. Just a baller, a 2-time All-Star. He's battling cancer, and he's been doing it for 16 years.
It's crazy.
16 years he's been battling cancer, so he stepped away yesterday. He sent out a statement, which he basically said, along with my wife of 51 years, Carol, today we share that I have been silently battling cancer for the past 16 years. Given my current medical condition, I am taking a step back from the A's and NBC Sports California, effective immediately, to focus on my treatment and to be with my family during this time. My wife, Carol, and I extend our gratitude to the baseball community and community at large for your thoughts and prayers. Get well, Fosse.
Yeah, definitely get well. And you hit it on the head. I mean, he is the face of the organization on many levels. And I mean, when you're in somebody's home every single night, especially as a baseball announcer, you feel part of the family because you're in the living room. You know what I mean? The kids grow up to it. They're playing catch, you know, even in the living room at a young age, watching the team day after day after day, and the players come and go, but those announcers stay forever. Yep. And yeah, this is really, really sad. And on just like a personal level, I think everybody knows somebody in their family or in their life who's had some form of cancer. And I think we can all have tremendous empathy for what the family's going through and the journey that he's going to have ahead of himself. It sounds like he's been battling it for forever.
16 years.
I don't even know how. I mean, that's just incredible.
What a tough SOP, man.
The one thing that I always say, and it's, you know, Ray's a little younger than my grandfather, but like that generation, we just don't make humans like that anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that is like the hard... Like, they lived a life that we only read about. We only see in movies. Like, it's just, that generation is just tougher than we'll ever be. And I don't think we appreciate how these guys show up and grind every single day. And we had no idea for 16 years he's going through this.
16 years, man.
God bless him, and we wish him nothing but the best. Our prayers, and we say prayers and thoughts, but we mean it from the bottom of our hearts.
Carol, his wife, who we mentioned, of 51 years.
I mean,
think about that, 51 years.
Bro, I've been married 11 years in this August.
Wow.
11.
Wow.
It's hard. Marriage is hard. I don't care if you've got 50 kids, 0 kids, if you've been married for 5 days, 50 years. Marriage is hard, but when you get to 51 years,
Dude,
that's next level.
Ed and I are celebrating our 5-year anniversary tomorrow. It was actually yesterday. We're going to celebrate it tomorrow. 5 years has been hard.
Right?
We've had a tremendous amount of
Peaks
up
and
and downs.
valleys.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely.
It's been a roller coaster ride that's trending up, no doubt about it. But it is hard. So get well, Fosse, man, because 16 years he's been battling. We had no idea that he was.
I know.
And we want to see him back in the booth at some point this season or hopefully next season as well as the A's make a playoff push because they've made a lot of trades here. The A's are rolling. They're trying to get back on track here after splitting against the San Diego Padres with the walk-off. Giants yesterday, they come up big against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They win 5-4 in 10 innings. A's taking on the Texas Rangers today at the Coliseum. Giants going to Milwaukee to Miller Park to take on the Brew Crew.
This has got a playoff vibe to it. This is a potential first or second round matchup, NLCS, NLDS type of a matchup.
This team is deep. They're kind of a carbon copy of the Giants.
Yes.
They're deep with their lineup. They haven't really had Christian Yelich all season, and they've got nothing but flamethrowers in that starting rotation and that bullpen. Let's get to Gabe's world.
They got Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff going tonight and tomorrow. It's going to be insane.
I think we'll go with a little Bohemian Rhapsody, gentlemen.
Good call.
When it comes to Gabe Kapler, anything goes.
First of all, I think pressure is always a good thing. The brightest lights can sometimes bring out the best performance.
Now he's been ejected. Kapler's been ejected by Joe West.
Panda costumes and baby giraffes and all of the fans of San Francisco.
Gabe Kapler's 100% right. Kapler launches one. Fair foul. It's gone! Gabe Kapler has won it!
It's time for Gabe's World.
Gabe's World. Gabriel Kapler, the man who skips leg day and goes straight to the upper body, baby. Gabe, what'd you think of that Lamont Wade Jr. bases loaded 2-out hit in the 9th inning?
Yeah, I don't think Lamont, took his best swings overall today. I don't think his at-bats were the best we've seen from him, but that one in particular, and this is why you have, 4 or 5 at-bats in a game. This is why you play 9 innings, so that, you have the opportunity to kind of be a hero at the end. And he never quit fighting, obviously, and that at-bat was an indication that he had a lot of fight left in him.
I mean, this guy, I'm telling you, man, Lamont Wade Jr., where would they be without this guy? It's one of the most random trades of all time.
Random.
I'm being real, dude.
It's a blip on the radar. It's like, Lamont Wade Jr. coming to the Giants, Sean Anderson. It was more about Sean Anderson. It was like, Sean Anderson,
they
man.
They gave up on him.
Yeah, they just gave up on him. Lamont Wade Jr., all right, whatever.
Yeah. And it's been incredible. The guy's going to have 40-something, 50 RBIs in limited plate appearances and like 250 plate appearances when it's all said and done. Like, again, if I took Lamont Wade Jr. off this team, how many games they're down? 11, 12?
Yeah, no,
I'm serious.
172 at-bats this season, 13 jacks, 32 RBIs. He's got 42 hits, and he gives you quality at-bat after quality at-bat.
Let me give you the name that he reminds me of. And I'm not saying stylistically. I'm saying in terms of like random injection into the arms. Andres Torres.
I knew you were going there.
Andres Torres had like 16 or 17 jacks that year. Played great defense in center field, took Aaron Rowan's job, and it was like we have forgotten how great Andres Torres was that year.
He's the Marvin Bernard, Andres Torres, a little not Angel Pagan in terms of style,
but
that jolt. Yeah, he came out of nowhere just balling. Darren Lewis as well. Yeah. 93 season, just leading off, just balling out of nowhere. Like this guy, Lamont Wade Jr. is taking the leadoff spot at the top of the lineup, and he has set the table for the big boys. And now you get LaStella batting right behind him. Then you get Kris Bryant in the 3-hole. Then all of a sudden you're stretching Buster Posey out to the 4-hole. Now you got Darren Ruff, Crawford batting 5th, 6th. Belt was batting, 7th yesterday? Yeah. This is a deep National League lineup.
I like him batting 7th, B.
I do.
I know, this goes back when he would bat like 4th or 3rd or 5th. I'm like, he's just not that dude. A
lot of pressure.
That's not you. How does the meme go? You're not that dude, pal.
You're not that dude.
How does that go?
Give me 1 second. Hang on.
Do you have
a minute?
You're not that dude. You're not that guy.
Brandon Belt.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Okay, so let's set this up properly. Brandon, you batting in the 3, 4, 5 hole?
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
But you batting in the 7th hole is absolutely incredible.
You are that guy if you bat in the 7th hole.
Absolutely.
You are that guy, pal. You are that guy.
There you go. Giants win 5-4. Look, the starting pitching, it's going to be a roller coaster the rest of the way.
Okay.
I'm just look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
They're going to need this bullpen to step up. Jake McGee going in the bottom of the 10th inning, getting the runner didn't even invest a third until it was 2 outs.
Right.
If he doesn't give up a run there in the bottom of the 10th, McGee has been solid. Lights out. Had another strikeout yesterday. His ERA is down to 2.18. Tyler Rogers with a clean 9th inning. His ERA is at 1.94.
Although it got a little sketch.
It did.
But that's okay. That's the Tyler Rogers experience.
Right, it is. But he got through the inning with 10 pitches, 8 strikes thrown. That's what we want. We want strikes. We don't want those balls that you're throwing down to Dodger Stadium. Alvarez, Garcia. All of a sudden, you got a bullpen here.
Right.
All of a sudden, you got a bullpen here. So when the starters are scuffling, giving you only 4 to 5 innings here, like Wood did yesterday, gave up 7 hits and 4 runs, 3 walks and 5 Ks. Now the bullpen has picked up the slack. They've picked up the slack for the starters, and this bodes well for the last 6 weeks of the season.
Look, Giants have been outstanding. But the thing that's getting everybody fired up this morning is this big step and challenge from John Curley on the internet. The big boss man chimed in, B. The big boss man chimed in, and he literally said, I'm not even sure what to make about this. When you're a 50-year-old white guy from the East Coast, where is he from, Chicago?
He's from Chicago.
Do you think he has any idea what the hell he's listening to or looking at?
He has no idea. He has no idea.
No idea.
Big stepping challenge. What's the big step?
And Curly did it.
Curly. What is Curly doing? What is that?
Who created this?
Who created this? What is the hashtag? I'm not so sure what to say about this.
Should we get him on the show?
Stunner Man? Hey, Stunner Man 02? Stunner Man? Who's that? What's a stunner? What's a Stunner Man?
Back to the Giants.
All right, Stunner Man, it's going a little too long.
It's a tune-out.
Big Step Challenge, but I'm not sure everybody's ready for the Big Step Challenge. I don't know what that is. Let's just get back to the Giants. Let's get back to sports.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, Oubre Jr., Big Step, Curly. What are we doing?
The women that I talked to in Marin at my kids' Little League game, they're just out on that. Total tune-out.
They don't know what the Big Step Challenge is.
My God.
The friends I have in Marin City, they don't know what the Big Step Challenge is.
What time is Al Guido today? We're going to have the president of the 49ers on. I can't wait for this. I'm
8:48.
8:48?
8:48.
I am so
8:48.
fired up to talk to Al Guido. I told you guys, man, me and him, we're kindred spirits.
Yeah,
we met in an elevator once, and he big-timed me.
No,
I love him. He just didn't know who I was.
We're going to get Al Guido,
can't
president
wait.
of the Niners, 8:48. We got a big-time show here. Austin Gale's going to join us coming up next talking about Trey Lance because he says some things that we've been saying for the last week. So you want to check out
Film
Austin
junkie.
Gale.
Film junkie.
Absolutely. Director of content at PFF, Pro Football Focus. As this segment was presented by Golden State Lumber, open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday with some locations open on the Saturday. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com for more information. We'll talk to Austin Gale coming up right here on The Roast.
Listening to Damon, Ratto, and Kolsky is easier than ever.
Well, I'm more fixated on the Memphis pick in 26 because that kid's 14 years old and you can already tell he's got serious up game.
Good luck to him, whoever he may be. We'll find out eventually.
And in his biology class next period.
Totally. I wonder if they're dissecting frogs today.
Listen to Damon, Ratto, and Kolsky on your phone, desktop, or smart speaker.
basketball. And Matt Nahigan, wow, this kid is electric. Fun to watch.
With Kate, Bonte, and Shasky.
He's fun to watch. Stunner man? Big step challenge? What is that? Hey, Shasky, think we should get him on? Is it worth it?
Hey, it's like Mike Jones.
I've been rolling on that candy paint, sipping paint. Not sipping.
No,
paint.
I love it. I love
You're
it.
not that guy, pal. Trust me.
Exactly.
You're not that guy.
I know I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
You know who
at
is
all.
that guy?
Who's that?
Austin Gale, because I'm telling you, I've been talking to this guy about football for a long, long time. Nobody studies the ins and outs of the actual film, breaking down line play, breaking down wide receiver DB play, understanding, what a quarterback is looking at on a particular play, scheme designs, things like that. I mean, this guy literally knows more about football than anyone that I've talked to. And I just love it because he gives you cold, hard data off the stuff that he's reviewed.
No doubt. Austin Gale, director of content at Pro Football Focus. He's been doing this for a long, long time. Before we get him on, I want to let everybody know to download the Odyssey app, discover hundreds of new exclusive music stations available right now for sports and music fans, by sports and music fans. Check out Tailgate Crashers. Crack a cold one. Get game day ready with tunes from all over your country faves, baby. That's right, country faves, the new Odyssey exclusive stations on the Odyssey app. Brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. Let's bring in Austin Gale, the director of content for Pro Football Focus. We love Austin here on the Morning Roast at 95.7 The Game. Austin, long time no talk. Football is back as we had the Hall of Fame game yesterday between the Steelers and the Cowboys. Got to see a little bit of Najee Harris. But the talk around here in the Bay Area, Austin, is Trey Lance. Trey's going to make him dance. Lance is going to make him dance. And what we saw from Trey Lance, we're thinking he should be the starting quarterback week 1 against Detroit. What have you heard? What have you seen from Trey Lance so far at training camp with the San Francisco 49ers?
I'm 100% aligned with you. I think he should be the San Francisco 49ers starter week 1. I don't even think it should be a competition. I think the only reason you see Kyle Shanahan or Lynch talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and him wanting to start is to potentially boost his trade value. And there's a handful of reasons why Trey Lance makes the most sense as the starter. One, you traded 2 first-round picks to go up and get him an upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. You obviously have this investment in Trey Lance. 2, Jimmy Garoppolo is due the 5th largest cap hit of any player in the NFL in 2021. A cap hit the San Francisco 49ers can avoid if he is cut or traded away. Obviously, he has trade value. You would not outright cut Jimmy Garoppolo. And then 3, the offenses are going to be completely different with Trey Lance under center versus Jimmy Garoppolo under center. You're obviously going to want to leverage Trey Lance as a runner in that offense, doing more quarterback design runs. Why are you teaching or working through 2 different offenses, one for a much more pocket passing type like Jimmy Garoppolo and another for Trey Lance? It doesn't make sense. And the best thing you could have saw at a training camp was not the Trey Lance 50-yard bomb. We knew he could do that. Mm-hmm. It's all these things you're hearing about him picking up the offense, already calling audibles, already telling veterans where to be on the play. That is the biggest difference. So I do think that the leash for Jimmy Garoppolo is as short as it could ever be. It might as well be a hand around his neck, because this preseason you're going to see Trey Lance light it up, and the fans, the organization is going to push for him to be the starter.
Wow. Just so much nuggets right there. Let's get back to Jimmy G then for a second before we get to Trey Lance. When you looked at Jimmy G's body of work, 2019 and 2020, what changed? What happened? Was he always this person, or was there some sort of a drop-off in an area of his game?
Here's the situation. Nothing has changed. I think it's more the realization of Jimmy Garoppolo's ceiling. Jimmy Garoppolo's floor has always been something that people have coveted. It's why the San Francisco 49ers, with an all-world defense, went to the Super Bowl. They understand his floor, but now they have this realization of his ceiling. You traded 2 future first-round picks to go get Trey Lance because you understand Jimmy Garoppolo's ceiling. He is not a top 8, top 6 quarterback in the NFL. He's never going to be bottom 10, but that doesn't win you football games. 3 of the 4 highest-graded quarterbacks in the NFL last year played in AFC or NFC championship games. It's a quarterback-driven league at the NCAA and NFL level. It's why you see teams doing everything to go get that upgrade at quarterback. Gone are the days where you can consistently compete for Super Bowls with fringe top 15, top 18 quarterbacks. You need the guy, not a guy, the guy. And it makes it that much harder when you are paying Jimmy Garoppolo, a guy with a high floor, low ceiling quarterback, the 5th largest cap hit in the NFL. And a lot of San Francisco 49ers fans don't want to move on, want the depth, whatever it may be. What are we going to spend that money on? I know Xavier Howard doesn't like his contract in Miami. You go drop Jimmy Garoppolo, go grab a corner for a much-needed defense that needs help at corner, you automatically upgrade this team with Trey Lance under center. There are a lot of things the San Francisco 49ers can do with that extra cap space, including making a big splash play for Xavier Howard.
Wow, I'm 100% with you on this one. When you're studying the film of Kyle Shanahan with Jimmy Garoppolo there, or if you want to throw in Mullins and Beathard last year, that's fine too. What are the tendencies that you're noticing in the game plan? Because when I'm at the games, it just seems to me everything's so restricted. They use Debo in a gadget way because of the limitations of Jimmy. They stay in the middle of the field because of the limitations of Jimmy. They don't throw on the outside of the boundaries or extend plays over the top above the safeties. What are you seeing from the film from Kyle Shanahan's specific game plan for those guys?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head with that word, limitations. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is very aware of the limitations he has to Jimmy Garoppolo under center. It's why when he was talking before even the 49ers made the trade up to go get in a position to get Trey Lance, when he's talking, you need a difference maker. You need a guy that can add above expectation as a runner from an arm talent perspective and then put him in this offense to exceed expectations. With Jimmy G, he's athletically limited. His arm talent is limited. And I think where you saw a lot of the concern this past year was decision-making, not getting the ball out quick when he did have to go through his progressions. That's why you saw so many gadget plays, so many first-read throws to Deebo Samuel and the others. He's not pushing the ball downfield voluntarily. He's going through the motions and largely just being a puppet, similar to what Jared Goff was in L.A. Two very similar systems in that, hey, I'm going to be the quarterback of this offense. Just do what I tell you to do. And while that can get you close, it can't get you consistently competing for Super Bowls. So much of the quarterback position is improvising and instincts. I talked to David Shaw, Stanford coach, yesterday. He said, while playing under Bill Walsh at Stanford as receiver, the number one thing quarterbacks need, circled by Bill Walsh, is instinct, and that's not something Jimmy Garoppolo has had. That's how you add out of structure. That's how you make plays when things break down. I think that's what Trey Lance has, and as we've seen, Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't.
Austin Gale.
He's so good. I told you.
Here on the Morning Roast on 95.7
so
Game. Been doing Austin on Twitter for a while, man. Austin, did you used to write for the Examiner? You were covering the Raiders for a while, right?
Correct, yeah. I'm from Oakland, California. I wrote for the Examiner for a little bit, and then moved out to Cincy with PFF.
Honestly, I really enjoy your content. Like, I mean that, like, from the you teach me stuff about football, so thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Austin Gale, Director of Content at Pro Football Focus, Bay Area guy, now in Cincinnati, covering the entire league here. And what Shatsky and I saw at practice last Saturday.
Oh, my God.
Just the individual drills, because what you're talking about here is pushing the ball down the field voluntarily. Just in quarterback drills, we saw Jimmy rolling out to the right, hitting the check down. Trey Lance, Austin, was rolling out, doing the same thing, and pushing the ball 25 yards down the field with the flick of the wrist. The arm talent is undeniable. The instincts is undeniable. The swagger is undeniable. And the other thing is, I think the players are starting to know it. The players know that they have something special on their heads. So if you talk about a player comp, because we're hearing Mahomes 2.0, supercharged Steve McNair, supercharged Donovan McNabb, what are you guys saying at PFF? Who does he remind you of, Trey Lance, that is?
I mean, he honestly reminds me a ton of Josh Allen. Josh Allen coming out of Wyoming, small school, big-armed, running quarterback, good size, but there was accuracy concerns at North Dakota State. Just like there were accuracy concerns with Josh Allen at Wyoming and in the first few years at Buffalo. He's obviously improved, played at a near MVP caliber campaign this past year, had the biggest single-season improvement in accuracy PFF has ever seen. And we've been charting this for over 5 years. Trey Lance needs to take that jump from an accuracy perspective, but if you look at the tools, just the tools, the instincts, the gamer mentality. I covered Josh Allen at Wyoming when I was at San Diego State. The guy's a gunslinger. I've seen it since I was there in Laramie, Wyoming at -5 degrees. Josh Allen and Trey Lance are very similar with that gamer mentality, and I think where he needs to improve the most isn't arm talent, it's not instincts, it's not moxie, it's this accuracy, and I think that's something that's been forgotten a bit with Trey Lance because the hype is awesome. The optimism is there. But only one game played in 2020 against Central Arkansas, some concerns there. And even if you go back to 2019, where he threw 0 interceptions, 28 touchdowns, there was still a bit of spotty accuracy there. If he gets better there and can be a top 15, top 10 passer from an accuracy perspective, ball location perspective, I mean, this is why you trade 2 future first-round picks. This is why there's so much optimism and energy surrounding the 49ers camp right now.
Wow, Austin Gale here on 95.7 The Game, breaking down Trey Lance's game, just dropping hot fire here on a Friday morning. We asked this to Benjamin Albright yesterday from Denver. Of course, he's tapped in with the NFL. He didn't think it helped, or he didn't think it mattered, but Do you think it mattered that Trey Lance only played one college game last season because there wasn't a lot of tape on him, and a lot of people did have question marks on Trey Lance entering the NFL draft?
I definitely think it had an effect. I mean, I do think that if he plays, a full schedule in 2019 and in 2020, there's more conversation around him going ahead of Zach Wilson. Maybe never getting ahead of Trevor Lawrence, but potentially going ahead of Zach Wilson, a guy that did not play all that well in 2019, was recovering from off-season shoulder surgery, but then lit it up in 2020, was one of the highest-graded quarterbacks in the country. And so much – it's not recency bias as much as it is at your most developed point in college, your last year, did you put it all together? And we didn't get to see that from Trey Lance. We saw it in the year prior, and he was obviously fantastic. But what does the 2020 version of Trey Lance look like? We saw what it looked like for Wilson. We saw what it looked like for Lawrence, and a lot of that matters. We think about developmental curves and how, when you're talking about ceilings, you need to see this consistent improvement at the collegiate level up to a fantastic – similar to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was not good in 2018. 2019 is the highest-graded quarterback in the country and put together one of the best offenses we've ever seen. You see that from Lance, and I do think the conversation becomes Zach Wilson versus Trey Lance a lot more than it was this past year.
Wow, that's incredible. If he can, even if he's spotty with the accuracy, what can he do to elevate, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, that maybe Jimmy Garoppolo can't?
Well, I do think it's not necessarily throwing the ball. I think he could be a top 3, top 5 runner in the NFL at the quarterback position. No one's beating Lamar Jackson. That is rare ability. But lost on a lot of people is just how good Trey Lance was as a legitimate in-between-the-tackles runner at North Dakota State. It's one of the few teams in college football that runs the football more than they throw because of how successful he was. And if you can add that dynamic to your offense, it makes things so much more difficult to cover the wide areas of the field. So many offensive coordinators, Kyle Shanahan included, talk about attacking space. How you create space is having that added layer, added dynamic of that rushing quarterback, forcing things to get a little bit more open, getting Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk the football, even Jalen Hurd, who I know is trying to have that breakout year a lot of people have expected since coming out of Baylor. So I do think that extra layer, that is not, it doesn't exist with Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously. With Trey Lance, it does, and I think that added layer to the offense is going to open things up for everyone.
Austin Gale here on 95.7 The Game, just bringing the heat here. Austin, we got to do this again because we're with you. We believe Trey Lance should be the starter week 1 against Detroit, and we're treating this August 14th preseason game against Kansas City as if it's a regular season game. We cannot wait for Trey Lance to be unleashed in front of the nation. Austin Gale, take care. Continue the great work at PFF.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, he's so good.
Austin Gale, Director of Content at PFF, Pro Football Focus, breaking down Trey Lance. He believes Trey Lance should have been the starter yesterday for the San Francisco 49ers. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco at Odyssey Station. Don't forget to download the Odyssey app and listen to the interview with Benjamin Albright and John Beck from yesterday, breaking down Trey Lance. They're hearing the same things that Austin Gale is hearing about Trey Lance, things that we saw at practice last Saturday afternoon. That's brought to you by Timeless Coffee. We're going to get to Kelly Oubre Jr. in a little bit later because he just signed a 2-year, $26 million deal with the Charlotte Hornets, 13 per season. And a lot of Warrior fans are not happy. And we'll explain why in the a little bit later after this segment here, but I want to continue on Trey Lance here. Yeah, 10 minutes. What's our next segment? 7:18, 7:19, whatever. Trey Lance had the day off yesterday, so we got no alerts about practice. No alerts about practice yesterday as the Niners took the day off, but today they're back on the practice field.
We're talking about practice, man. Not a game. We're talking about practice.
We are talking about practice because he is wowing his own teammates. Dre Greenlaw, DJ Jones, Kyle Shanahan. Now, John Lynch yesterday at the Pro Football Hall of Fame was interviewed during the game as the Steelers were taking on the Cowboys, and Week 1 preseason is always a dud, but it was good to see Najee Harris out there running for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I love him.
He looks good. He's going to be a stud.
I love running backs.
He's going to be an absolute stud. But John Lynch said, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo is our quarterback for this season. He's our quarterback. Do you believe John Lynch when he says that? He says that right on Fox Sports. Interview with Tom Rinaldi. Yes, he's going to be our starter, Jimmy Garoppolo, that is. I don't believe him, Shasky. I think John Lynch knows that Trey Lance needs to play right away.
This is like a dude like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. And then immediately dumps the girlfriend to go find somebody else or is dating somebody else on the side. I mean, I love John Lynch. What else is he supposed to say? Right. And I'm not trying to rip him. I'm being honest here. It serves them no good to diminish Jimmy Garoppolo within the building or externally outside the building for his trade value. So you got to hype this guy up because who knows what ends up happening in this preseason game for Trey. I still believe he's going to just light it up, but you got to go out and do it. And if you don't have Jimmy Garoppolo's back, like you're doing your own self a disservice. It's bad business for you because you want him to be good so that you have these good problems. You want him to be good so that he can boost up his trade value or stave off Trey Lance because that means he is the best version of himself. So, look, I have no issues with John Lynch coming out and saying this at all. And anybody who does and wants to say, oh, this is what he's supposed to do. This is part of the politicking outdoors that you have to do when you're standing in front of 1 million people on ESPN or what is it? Fox, excuse me.
How many hours on the iPad do you think Trey Lance logged in yesterday or Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, how many hours on the iPad? Did they track that yesterday?
I don't know.
I mean,
but the reason that came out was it served a purpose.
Right. There's no doubt about it. 510 Fanboy Radio. Look, we are big-time fans of the 49ers. We're with you, 510. But it's not just us now. It's Austin Gill. It's Benjamin Albright. It's Cam Emmon. It's Matt Mayoko. It's Dieter Kurtenbach. It's the voice of the 49ers. It ain't just us, folks, that's on this Trey Lance hype, that's seeing the same thing that we're seeing. It's everybody. And if you watch ESPN, you watch Colin Cowherd on Fox Sports 1, it is everybody knowing what we know. Trey Lance is just a better football player right now. And his ceiling is going to be Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson. Jimmy has reached his ceiling. I'm a big Jimmy guy, but what I saw Saturday and the things that Shanahan can do in this offense with the guy who can run and get the hit and yardage, that's something you just can't teach. That's something that just doesn't grow on trees. This guy is the truth, man. And I'm trying to temper down the expectations, but I know what I saw, and I know what I'm hearing. Trey Lance is the truth.
Well, and just think about any profession, all right? Whatever it is. You're a plumber, electrician, a doctor, dentist, lawyer, whatever. If you're just better than someone, you're just better than someone. How many people have you worked with in different settings? Like, you worked at FedEx at one time? UPS, okay. How many times did you walk on the scene and within a week you're like, I'm a better worker than that guy who's been here for 10 years? And that, not to diminish other people, but like, let's be real. There's a lot of people that aren't good in the workplace that you might be in your particular industry, and you could waltz right in and just be better than them. Now, are there other situations where you're an apprentice and you have to learn to become a journeyman and there's a process to it? Yeah, of course, all the time. But they say even in doctoring at times, you want the young doctor because the young doctor is more energetic and looks at everything more closely with a fine-tooth comb as the old doctor who's seen everything and maybe is a little more rigid and maybe a little less affable or a little less willing to go the extra mile because they're a little more burnt out. Now, I'm not saying that applies in this particular situation, but what I'm saying is if you are better, then you play. Okay, that's how it works in sales, and I've been in sales forever. It doesn't matter if you've been here 20 years. Are you making money? And if you are, you jump to the top of the board. And if you're not, you're gone. It is what have you done for me lately? And I think the same thing can apply here. It's sports, and I understand there's money attached to Jimmy Garoppolo. But when you've invested the amount of draft capital that they have, the draft capital supersedes the $25 million for this year that Jimmy Garoppolo has coming to him. Like straight up.
Straight up, 916. Trey the truth. Let's go. I'll be at practice tomorrow. Time to see the hype. A lot of people going to practice tomorrow as it's Dwight Clark Day at practice tomorrow. We're going to bring in Al Guido, president of the 49ers, at 8:48 to talk about what's going on at Levi Stadium. That's going to be a lot of fun with Al Guido as they have the museum opening back up today down in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. We need to get to the museum. We haven't been there yet, but something I want to touch on that Austin Gale said. He said they should trade Jimmy Garoppolo, move off that money, and try to go get Xavier Howard down in Miami. Because if there's one flaw on this team, or there's a couple flaws, to me it's wide receiver and it's corners.
I agree.
And if you go get Howard, because you got this division where there's DeAndre Hopkins and A.J. Green in Arizona. There's Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Deshaun Jackson with the L.A. Rams. And, of course, up north in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest with Seattle, you have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Xavier Howard could be had. He doesn't want to be in Miami. He wants some new money, no doubt about it. Now, I don't know where the Niners sit with their salary cap. I believe they have about $3 to $4 million to play with here, so money's going to be tight. Xavier Howard, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that for Jimmy Garoppolo at all.
Well, the scenario would have to be, I know you want to trade directly with Miami. I don't know.
It may not happen.
I think the more likely scenario is, hey, what's going on with the Texans? Are they moving off Deshaun? Mm-hmm. Are they commissioner exempt listing Deshaun Watson and they need a quarterback quickly, right? Like that would be one scenario.
Think they're rolling with Tyrod Taylor?
No, I do not. And then just look around. There's going to be injuries. We had the Carson Wentz injury just pop up. Now, they say they're not going to make a move for someone. I don't believe them. I think the Colts are going to have a preseason game. It's going to look a little ugly, and I think they're going to try to go get some help outside the organization. There is opportunities. At this point, if Jimmy gets cut in the offseason, which is the most likely scenario right now, the way I'm looking at it, you're going to get anything from him. No one's trading next year something for Jimmy Garoppolo. They're just not. So if you can get a middle round pick, 4th, 5th, maybe you get a 3rd, maybe you package somebody else. I think you have to look into it at this point.
Doubt.
I think you really do. And then maybe use some of that draft capital and pivot and try to move with Miami. That one seems a little more of a long reach to me.
The Niners and Dolphins did do business before the NFL draft, and they obviously don't have any first-round picks next season, so it could be a little tough to get Howard, no doubt about that, but 6-2-8. I agree with you, Guru. Trey Lance is the future. They need to move off of Jimmy now, get that corner. Guru comes on at 10 o'clock, 6-2-8.
And I will be
This
listening.
is Bonte Hill. We will be listening to Steiny Guru and Dibs, but Guru doesn't wake up until 6 a.m., so he will be on the airways at 10 a.m.
They call Bird why? Because he looked like a bird?
So, that was one of the funniest moments, by the way, in the station's history.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 quick things here. I'm not sure what Jimmy Garoppolo's gotten better at. Like, that's something that I've been asking for the last couple of years. Like, what area of his game has really dramatically improved in the last couple of years? And I'll let you answer on the other side. And then the other part of this is, if Kyle Shanahan really was trying to not let Trey Lance look good, then he wouldn't have the skill position players, Ayuk, Kittle, and Debo running routes with him. He would have set it up so that only Jimmy's throwing to those guys. And I know they rotate in and out, but trust me, if you don't think that they're trying to get some rapport for the young man in Trey Lance and mixing those guys in, then I just don't know what to say.
That's a great point. And Jimmy should be yelling at Shanahan saying, I only want to throw passes to Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle because I am the starter of this football team.
There you go.
And none of that is happening right now. None of that is happening right now for Jimmy. I think Jimmy's as good as gone, man. I really, really do. Here's what's coming up on the game.
Bonte, help me. Can you give me that Guru drop?
What's coming up on the game brought to you by Stanford Healthcare.
My favorite one.
We're going to discuss Oubre Jr. moving on to Charlotte. We'll continue to talk a little Trey Lance here. Niners back on the practice field today. Giants taking on the Brewers. A's hosting the Rangers.
What a day.
Bay Area's on fire right now.
Frisco Friday
here. And, big stepping. Check out our Instagram video.
Yes.
On Twitter.
Yes.
On 95.7 The Game. John Curley, our producer, is big stepping. Rate his big step. Give his big step a grade. Is it an A? Is it a B? Is it a C, D, E, F, G? What grade would you give John Curley's big step?
And what about you? Don't think you're exempt from this. You are out there, and people are saying you're dancing kind of white there, bruh.
I mean, I've always admitted that I've got 2 left feet. But, hey, you saw me up at the Go to One Center. I was dipping, dog.
I think I got more spice in my life than you will.
Come on, you know you can't big step. You can't big step. I haven't even seen you big step.
I'm about to do it.
Can I see the big step right now?
I'm going to wait till Son of Man comes in the studio.
Oh, no. See, so now you're going to practice at home.
Nah.
You're going to practice. Are you practicing at home?
It's like moonwalking with Michael J., you know?
Bonte, help me.
On the other side, 95.7 The Game.
For the 7th year in a row, Stanford Hospital has been ranked as one of the nation's best by U.S. News & World Report. Thank you to our staff and community for your exceptional response in an extraordinary year.
Listening to Damon, Ratto, and Kolsky.
Kelly Oubre Jr.'s Instagram page.
Who is this?
Who is this, Langford?
Panic at the Disco.
Panic. They have Panic with an apostrophe, right?
Yes.
Panic
okay.
or exclamation point.
All right. Not Joe
It's an
Panic?
exclamation point.
Exclamation point. Yeah, my
Panic.
bad. My bad.
At the disco.
Yeah.
Panic.
What would
At the
this be
disco.
considered? Alternative?
Rock, right?
Pop punk is what I'd call it.
Pop punk.
Pop
Would this be hard, more hard than like a Blink 182, or right in the same, or more pop than Blink 182?
It's more pop than Blink 182.
Okay.
Blink 182 is more traditional, kind of skateboarder punk,
Yeah.
if you will.
That was my brother's jam.
Yeah, so this is more pop punk, I'd say.
So you surprised that Kelly Oubre Jr. knew the words to the song? Like, he was into it.
No, I mean, he's eclectic. I mean, look,
Yeah.
if you look at my playlist, I've got like Paul Simon, I've got E40, I got Stunna Man on there, and then I'll have Bob Marley, I'll have some Grateful Dead. Like, I have a little bit of everything. I mean, I lean more in the rap direction. You know me.
I mean, there's no Grateful Dead on my play. I got a couple
My
Led
dad's a
Zeppelin
Deadhead,
songs.
but my
Yeah,
dad
I
and
got
my
a couple
mom's
Led
Motown,
Zeppelin.
right? So
Yeah.
my mom's big Motown, like
the Reed's Motown.
huge. We used to play on Saturdays when we cleaned in the house. My mom would play the records, and it was just
Wow.
all Motown. Like, I grew up with the Jackson 5 and the Temptations and all that.
So you get your soul from your mom.
Absolutely.
Pops is just like, hey, Joe, it's your dad.
Yeah.
Let's put out some Grateful Dead and go crazy.
But my little brother, he was like, you know, big skateboarder, all right? My brother was a big-time skateboarder. So, like, Blink 182, Brand New, is that the name of the group? Brand New, I think is the name of it.
Brand New.
Yeah, you never heard of them? No? Okay.
Brand New?
I think it was called Brand New. Maybe I'm wrong here. And then, like, Transplants and things like that. Rancid, right? You know, Green Day. I love Green Day. But this particular group, Panic at the Disco, they were big when? 15 years ago? 20 years ago?
Oh, 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
10, 15, yeah.
And so break down this song again. Play it just a little bit
Play it,
here.
'cause,
Because
well-
Ubre's singing it in the car before it's announced that he's going to sign a 2-year deal with Charlotte.
Be cautious because 707 saying that song just ruined his morning.
Why?
I don't know. 707 explain. Play the song, Langford. Let's go.
I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of.
So what is the theme of this song so that I can understand
What
the
Kelly
post?
Oubre Jr. was
Yeah, from
doing?
Oubre. He's singing in the car, and it's inaudible, basically. We
Right.
tried to pull it. It doesn't sound good, so that's why I'd rather play the song. What does the song mean?
I don't even know. I don't know. In the video, I don't know why he's singing it, because normally these athletes, when they do this, they have like subliminal messages through this.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any subliminal message. I just think he was posting a live IG video with a song that he likes.
Okay.
Like, I don't think there's any hidden meaning behind it.
Yeah, well, by the way, we got a grade from Cozy Azul on Twitch. Twitch is popping right now. Good morning to everybody on Twitch and YouTube.
Flaming.
Thank you. Subscribe on YouTube.
and hit the like button.
No doubt about that. Bonte's big step C, Curly A for effort.
I mean, seriously.
Wow. I'd give myself an A- for that big step. I mean, my big step, I lean into it like bench pressing. Big step. Come on,
Not
man.
sure you've bench pressed anything other than a burrito into your mouth.
Man,
I mean,
come on now.
Hey, so
Big stepping. But
so
Kelly Oubre Jr.
Yeah, he puts out this video, right?
The song's about 6 years old, by the way.
Okay.
And it's about making mistakes and moving on.
Who says that?
925. You
Okay.
guys are old. This song is about 6 years old.
Okay.
6 years old, and it's about making mistakes
Okay.
and moving on.
It actually is a good song.
So
but
Kelly
he
Oubre
clearly-
Jr. is basically saying, I've made some mistakes in the past, and I'm moving on.
Well, there
Maybe
you
I
go.
made some mistakes with the Golden State Warriors, and I'm moving on. But did the Warriors make a mistake in letting Kelly Oubre Jr. go?
So
Because a lot of people are ticked off about this.
Well, let's explore the timeline here. Klay Thompson hurts himself, right? And it's on the eve of
16 years ago, 2005. All right. Sorry. Langford told me that the song is 15 years old, 16 years old.
That's okay.
You looked at me like, what? Why you stop me?
No, it's okay. Klay gets hurt. They pivot. They make the trade for Kelly Oubre, right? And at the time, they used what they had. They had a trade exception from Iguodala.
Yeah.
And so they used that to go pivot and go get Kelly Oubre, which was probably the best they could do given the circumstances. I can't remember specifically what the other options were because it's so long ago. But they bring him in, and they just like they needed a body who was a competent NBA player. The fit just wasn't good. B, I said to you the first couple of weeks, and you disagreed. And I think both of us were right at times. At times, it looked like he didn't belong on the court with Steph and them because just the style and the fit wasn't there. He was playing poorly. I think at times he was aloof. I think at times the staff completely, actually, I would say as a whole, the staff completely mismanaged how to best utilize him. I also think simultaneously he shares some of the brunt for not adjusting. I think it's hard. He's a very specific player. He's not a guy who's going to be pass and move, read and react, right? He's going to be a guy that, like, give me the ball. I'm going to pound. I'm not going to dribble, to pass for others or dribble to set up. I am dribbling strictly to get mine, which that guy can have a very specific positive impact on the right team in the right setting. I don't think that ever played out. As we started to go along, he had a great February. Then you have the trade deadline coming up. I was open to the trade for Lonzo Ball. Whether that was real, whether that was not real.
That wasn't real. That wasn't real.
Look, but
come on, let's just debunk the nonsense.
No, because I think this matters.
Right.
The fact that you don't think it's real.
No, I don't think it's real at all. Like, David Griffin and the Pelicans put that out there to try to gain some leverage. And the Warriors came back and said, look, we talked to him. We discussed some things. But to say that, hey, we're going to trade Kelly Oubre Jr. for Lonzo Ball, because I think the Warriors would have done that. I think the Warriors, if that was on the table, I think the Warriors pulled the trigger. I think they pulled the trigger on that move.
And I think if you just look at values, right? Let's just look at values. What did Lonzo end up getting from the Chicago Bulls?
4 years, $85 million.
Okay. All right. And the Bulls did not wait to hand him that money, right?
Nope.
So I don't think he had such a dramatic improvement the final couple months of the season to where the entire league shifted what their value was on Lonzo. I don't think that trade was real. And if it was, it would have required more from the Warriors to give up to get Lonzo Ball.
No doubt.
The other part of this was the trade of the guy from the Orlando Magic who went to the Boston Celtics. What's his name?
Evan Fournier.
Evan Fournier went for what?
2 second-round picks.
Okay. Evan Fournier then signed in free agency for how much?
$70+ million with the New York Knicks.
Over how many years? 4
years.
Okay. So clearly Lonzo and Evan Fournier were valued by not just one team, but the league in general as more valuable than Kelly Oubre, correct?
No doubt.
So if Fournier is only getting you 2 second-round picks, and we deal operating knowing that Lonzo Ball trade probably wasn't real, yes, I would have wanted them to trade him at the deadline. I don't think that anyone wanted him. Like, that's, I think, where we're at.
The Warriors tried to shop him hard, and they thought that they could possibly get a first-round pick or a player back to help them try to make the playoffs.
Yes.
Because they wanted to make the playoffs. They were in a position to make the playoffs at that juncture of the season. Once Evan Fournier, Cousin Nick was on the show with us that day, Nick Friedel of ESPN, he was on the show with us that day. He said, this is not good news for the Golden State Warriors once Fournier got traded from the Magic to the Celtics for 2 second-round picks, because they're very similar players. They're not, Fournier's not as athletic as Kelly Oubre Jr., but when you look at the numbers across the board, they're very identical. They were not going to get good value for Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, if Kelly Oubre Jr. had been traded for a pick or two, Warrior fans would have been irate, because he was a player who gave you 15 points a game and very good defense.
So you think that Warrior fans today are playing the results, meaning, wow, you lost out on the slot, because essentially allowing, or I guess Oubre moving with only a 2-year deal, there's no opportunity for a sign and trade because you need to have at least 3 years. And so you lose that money because they're so over the cap. They lose that slot. And I think today, this morning, a lot of Warrior fans wake up and they're like, what the heck? You had an asset, you lost the asset for nothing, and there's no way to replenish said asset. And I understand the frustration. I'm just saying, as you went along the timeline, I'm just not sure if we're dealing in reality. At every single turn, had they done what people wanted them to do, they'd be sitting here with some ridiculous asset that actually means something today.
So I'm telling you right now, Shasky.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear 100% what you're saying. Well, it was week to week. It was Jekyll and Hyde, whatever, with Kelly Oubre Jr.
Yes.
The trade deadline,
Lava
right?
lampish.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Shape-shifting.
At the time where the Pelicans report came out, the Pelicans were trying to move off of something, and they wanted Kelly Oubre Jr. I think they wanted Kelly Oubre Jr. because David Griffin and company probably thought Kelly Oubre Jr. would help their team, another slasher, another guy who could get to the rim and play really good defense, because the Pelicans lacked defense last season. They lacked a lot of defense. A lot of their games was in the 130s and the 140s. They were giving up points left and right.
Okay.
So they come out with the report. Warriors say, hey, Kelly, we're not trading you right now. Now, the deadline, I do know for sure the Warriors were shopping him hard. They were shopping Kelly Oubre Jr. hard, but the return wasn't worth it. And a lot of fans, and I think the Warriors too, were saying, we want to try to get to the play-in game or at least make the playoffs. We want to be in a playoff series this season. So should we trade Kelly Oubre Jr. for nothing when you look at our bench? Michael Mulder. And at the time of the trade deadline, you didn't know what you had with Jordan Poole. You did not know Jordan Poole would come back from the G League.
Yeah, when was he sent down to the G League-ish?
He was sent down.
February-ish?
Yeah, February-ish.
When Oubre was playing the best ball of the year for him at that time.
Exactly. So he came back right before the All-Star break. The Phoenix game. Remember that? The Phoenix game before the break where the Warriors sent home Steph Curry and Draymond Green to get some rest. Oubre Jr. didn't play in that game. Jordan Poole comes back at that point. You didn't know Jordan Poole could consistently give you 15 points per game and be a playmaker. Kelly Oubre Jr. had a good stretch. Couple 40 burgers, some big threes in a game against Milwaukee. Had a good Memphis back-to-back, shutting down John Morant. He was a guy that you said, you know what? Yeah, there's going to be some bad. There's going to be some ball stopping. He's going to miss some dunks, but this guy's he goes hard. He's a dog. So I don't think the Warriors at that point were like, you know what? Couple second-round picks for Oubre Jr., it's not worth it to us. We're trying to make a playoff push. Now, if he doesn't get hurt with the wrist injury, I do believe the Warriors make the playoffs. I do believe they beat Memphis, and I do believe they have a great shot to beat the Utah Jazz. I think they have a great shot to beat Utah with the Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, when it comes to the sign and trade, Kelly Oubre Jr. probably was like, I'm not agreeing to anything. I'm not agreeing to anything, and I'm not going to get the years and money anyway, as we saw that play out.
Look, I think both parties mishandled the entire thing. I think the Warriors at many steps mishandled it. I think Kelly Oubre mishandled, because of his lack of self-awareness, mishandled the situation as well. But I'm going to be real with you. Like, just from I love assets and acquisitions and value and all that stuff. It's undeniable that losing out on the money because of what their financial situation is, it's undeniable to say that right now I am frustrated that they lost this slot and this amount of money because you've lost an asset for nothing. Now, I'm playing the results. I admit to you, I'm playing the results and saying, oh, man, you should have made the move. Knowing what I know now that you've lost him, you should have made the move. And I am going backwards on this, but I'm going to be real with you. Like, I wanted to turn the Oubre slot into something. You didn't. And so I think it's fair this morning to wake up and be pissed off. Like, I do. I really do. I honestly
I think
I see that side of it.
Yeah, I'm not going to be pissed off because the way Kelly Oubre Jr. talked in the offseason, I think this is an addition by subtraction. Let Oubre Jr. just go on and do his own thing. The Warriors are still better today than they were last season.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
But wouldn't you agree that the money, because of their financial situation and the money, like, I hear what you're saying.
Right.
But what I'm saying to you is that you only have so many maneuvers you can make that require the amount of money that Oubre was slotted underneath.
Right.
And to lose him and not get that slot back, it's not malpractice, because that's an extreme step, but it is a mismanagement of the funds and the assets that you have. And I think that that's fair to critique and wake up this morning and be like, dude, you got nothing for him.
Yeah, but you know what? You wasn't going to get anything for him. And what I mean by that is a couple second-round picks. Do you really want a couple second-round picks? We see how second-round picks work out.
I know, but
it's hit or miss. And I guess having to pick,
that's what,
you know what I'm saying? Great.
Something to nothing, right?
But at that point of the trade deadline, ask yourself, Warrior fans, did you really want to trade Kelly Oubre Jr. at the trading deadline for 2 second-round picks? Did you really want to do that?
I think a lot of people would. I would actually like to hear from Warrior fans to break the tie here between the two of us, because clearly we're at a stalemate here. The analogy I would use is like you're at the end of a run with a vehicle. You ever had a vehicle that you're gonna you got to get rid of?
Oh yeah, no
would
doubt.
I rather have the
Camry.
Would I rather have the $1,000 in cash, or would I rather have the $500 donation where you get the write-off on your taxes? Because that's basically what it is right now for the Warriors.
Or would you rather just keep the car and just roll it till the wheels fall off?
Right.
To have a car.
So, I think
this is one of those.
I mean, we're talking about we're arguing about pennies, though.
Right.
I mean, we agree on that.
No doubt.
We're not talking about valuable dollars. We're talking about pennies on the dollar.
No doubt about it. I wouldn't feel pissed about Kelly Oubre Jr. I think the Warriors, as we've talked about all season long with Stephen Curry, it just wasn't a good fit. It played out to not be a good fit. but you made the move when Klay Thompson got hurt. And I'm glad the Warriors gambled on Kelly Oubre Jr., who was coming off a damn good season with the Phoenix Suns. The guy was athletic. The guy could hit the three. Now, he got off to an atrocious start. I think he put off, we cannot underestimate the pressure he put on himself.
Yeah.
And the pressure we put on Kelly Oubre Jr. to somewhat replace a Klay Thompson. You're not going to replace Klay Thompson. Kelly Oubre Jr. is a totally different player than Klay Thompson.
Agreed.
So a lot of pressure to fit in. Think about that. You're Kelly Oubre Jr. You're going into a contract season, and you're trying to fit with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and fit in this Warriors culture. That's tough.
An uphill battle. I agree with you.
But he made the adjustments in February, played his ass off, really started to fit and vibe with the Warriors. And then there was a setback once. A, the trade rumors started. B, there was some gamesmanship played by the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr, saying, we told him that we may be moving him, maybe not. We were transparent with Kelly Oubre Jr. They botched the situation. So I'm not mad at Kelly Oubre Jr. just walking. Hey, look, are the Warriors going to miss him? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
So I feel two ways on this. Do I want Kelly Oubre? No, I don't want Kelly Oubre. But I would have liked to have had something. And at least and again, do 2 second-rounders mean anything? Or a second-rounder or a future whatever? Not really, but at least it's a swing. At least it's something I got in my hand. At least it's something, because you lose out on the financials, the slot, the amount of money that you could kind of put back in here. And it's not about saving Joe Lacob money. Like that, put that to the side. I don't think Oubre ever really fit. I thought it was a mismanagement of the staff to try to fit him in.
Right.
But
wouldn't you rather them trade for Kelly Oubre Jr.?
No, I love the aggressive play.
Yeah,
but B, losing him for nothing, it's hard for me to defend, because you know me, I'm all about assets and at least having something. And so I'm very conflicted, because I don't think he fits here. I didn't think he ever fit here. I didn't think it was the best by the staff. But dude can go, but get me back something. And I get what you're saying. What's a second rounder? You're right. Second rounder is nothing, but at least it's like,
let me ask you this.
I got a golden ticket.
Take away what you know now.
Okay. Because I am dealing with the results.
Yeah,
the results of knowing it didn't work out.
Right.
And I know that.
Because at the deadline, when we were doing the show, it was like, if you're going to trade Kelly Oubre Jr., don't you want a player to come back that fits better with the Golden State Warriors, or a first-round pick at the bare minimum? And none of that was out there. Once Orlando traded Evan Fournier for 2 second-round picks,
that's fair.
That value was shot. Let's go to George in the jungle.
Yeah.
He wants to chime in on Kelly Oubre Jr. here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. What's up, George?
Shasky, you got to understand, Oubre wasn't a team player.
I agree.
He didn't fit the system. And, once he got injured, he had a hangnail, and he hung it up. That's not a player you're going to be able to get assets for.
I hear you.
You might want to go rolling through the trash, and pick out somebody else's garbage and pull it in. But no, Oubre needed to go just for the culture.
Yeah, I totally, and good call. I agree with you. Like, I was never really in on Oubre, B. You know I wasn't. I was very reluctant.
But there was at one point we all flipped.
You gotta get something.
Hey, at one point, I know I was like, I'd rather have Oubre than Wiggins.
And I co-signed with that for a couple of weeks.
Right,
I did.
because it looked good.
And then I went in the other direction. I was, as the word I like to use, I oscillated from one side to the other.
You panicked. You pivoted, didn't panic.
I did. I was not big stepping. I was big pivoting.
888-957-9570. Are any Warrior fans out there feeling like Joe Shasky this morning? Are you a little ticked off that you got nothing
That's
for Kelly
kind of where
Oubre
I'm at.
Jr.?
It's like, give me something back.
888-957-9570. Are you ticked off that you lost Kelly Oubre Jr. for nothing? No sign and trade. You didn't get value back. You didn't trade him at the deadline. Are you ticked off that the Warriors came away with nothing from Kelly Oubre Jr.?
I think there's a couple of things here just on Oubre's side. If you're in Oubre's camp right now, I hate saying that, into the camp, like he's got a squad.
My squad. He does have his team. My team, my team and I. We
Are they
talked about
boxed
this.
in? Are they boxed in? Like, if you're on his side, boy, it must be the cold reality of looking around and going, I'm making less money today over 2 years than I was when I got here. Wow, that stinks. I thought I was going to get broken off. I mean, Duncan Robinson's getting like 5 times what I'm getting. it's got to be a slap in the face and a hard dose of reality. As we like to say, a huge slice of humble pie if you're Kelly Oubre, right, B?
No doubt.
I mean, you're going on a 2-year deal for $13 million a year in Charlotte?
So Steve Reed.
Is he even going to start?
Steve Reed from the AP in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, give it to
Carolina tweeted at 6:54 a.m. I have not yet confirmed the Kelly Oubre Jr. signing with the Hornets.
Oh.
I'm hearing there might be more moving pieces involved in this one. Stay tuned.
Add the extra year and find a way to make the sign and trade happen.
It's not dead yet.
B, I'm telling you, man. You know me, I love the assets.
I love assets, too.
I
would
have
love
something.
to see a sign and trade.
Give me the bird in the hand.
But at the same time, I'm not going to lose sleep over Kelly Oubre Jr. just walking off and doing his thing because I'm like, you know what? You don't want to be here. That's fine. I'm fine with moving forward with Kuminga, Wiseman, Moody,
I am too.
Otto Porter Jr., and Bielitsa.
I am too. But again, let's go through the sequence because if we're going to praise the Warriors for, wow, Durant left and look what you turned it into, Kuminga and Wiggins, let's go on the other way. Iguodala leaves. You turn that trade exception into literally nothing if he goes to Charlotte on a 2-year deal. That does sting a little.
It does. It does sting. I mean, a little bit. But again, I'm not like when I went to bed last night. I'm like, hey, you lost Oubre for nothing.
And you think I'm wrong, or do you think more Warrior fans feel the way you are, like just good riddance?
I know Warrior fans are ticked off they didn't get anything for Oubre Jr. But also, I think a lot of Warrior fans are like, you know what? You can go. We'll drive you to the airport. We'll take you to SFO, OAK. We'll go down to San Jose if we need to and get a direct red eye straight up to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Somebody had like a Kelly Oubre tribute video floating around the internet.
Way.
Oh, yeah, of him in his time in Golden State. And of all the minute and a half, 2 minutes, there was one basketball play on the whole thing. Everything else was him celebrating or, pointing at his veins or doing some wild stuff. I've never seen a dude miss more dunks in my life off back rim.
He was a trip, man. He was a different cat. Kelly Oubre Jr. was definitely a different cat.
An alley cat
and
with
I
no
agree.
home.
There was a text here earlier that said, you know what? Is he? Yeah, I don't know where that was coming from.
I'm saying he's one of them alley. In the Excelsior, we had cats that just roamed.
Right. No, we had that in Philbo, too. Yeah. I used to, the day of the earthquake in 1989, October 17th.
Yeah,
we had these alley cats. We had these alley cats in my backyard, and my grandma would take our leftover dinner and say, hey, go feed the cats. It was like a gang of like 20 of them. And we would leave
grandma
food
was
for the
feeding
cats.
the cats?
She was feeding. My grandma was one of she's like, go feed the cats. And I would take them down there, and that's when the earthquake hit, when I was feeding the cats.
I'll tell you this right now. Cats are ruthless. They're a gang.
They are a gang.
Versus the raccoons in my neighborhood. Oof. Now there's no raccoons because the coyotes ate them all. But I'm telling
not laughing. That's not funny.
No, that is the truth. Yeah. We used to see raccoons everywhere in San Francisco.
I
don't see any of them.
I don't see any anymore. Let's go to the lines here, man. We got a lot of calls here talking about Kelly Oubre Jr.
Raccoon specialist on line one.
How you feeling, Warrior fans, about losing Kelly Oubre Jr. for nothing? However, Steve Reed of the AP, maybe we can get that guy on in a second here. He said,
is he good?
I have not yet confirmed the Kelly Oubre Jr. signing with the Hornets. I'm hearing there might be more moving pieces involved in this one. Stay tuned. Let's go to Jerome in Fairfield. Rome in Fairfield. What's happening, Jerome? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for taking my call. Yeah, I'm a little pissed that we didn't get anything from Oubre, but I also agree that we had a chance to make the playoffs, the playing game this season, and I think if Oubre was stayed healthy, I think we would have made it and maybe had a small run. But I also think at the same time, this speaks to the broader conundrum that the Warriors are dealing with as far as, trying to maximize this championship window with the core three, but also planning for the future. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, what are we going to say here? Like, you lose Oubre. Could they use Iguodala on the mid-level? I'm not paying Iguodala money on a mid-level. Like, right now, they have one move. Like, if Oubre leaves, we don't know. If Oubre leaves, they've got one legitimate, like, I guess, $5.5 million slot. Everything else has to be veteran minimum. How much does Iggy really have left?
I don't know. So the three finalists for Andre Iguodala.
I love Iggy.
Yeah, the finalists: the Lakers, Brooklyn Nets, and the Golden State Warriors.
The finalists.
Yeah, three teams that's in on Iguodala.
Prize.
Lakers, Nets, and the Warriors. Iguodala's trying to decide who to sign with. I don't know how I feel about Iguodala. I feel like,
and look, if this,
I don't know. I like for the playoff run, I think Iguodala could be useful. He's perfect.
Yeah, but
can you get through 82? And do you want him around your youngsters
Speaking of
trying
which.
to navigate the regular season?
That's the.
I mean,
now that's
like,
the question.
you know, because he plays when he wants to play.
Oh yeah,
there's no doubt about that.
He got midday vibes. I mean, just load management. No, I love those guys. I can't wait to listen to that.
But full squad is back middays.
On the real, I'm looking at his games played. All right, just look at the games.
Right.
Okay, 63 this year, 21 the year before that, only 68, 64, 65. Don't get me wrong. They could use 65 games of a guy like Iguodala, but how much does he have left? I mean, he's 38.
Right.
I love the guy. I really do.
Right.
Would I rather want to see what Moody's got left? What Moody has or what Iguodala has left?
Yeah, I kind of want to see what Moody has. 415, bigger disappointment, Kelly Oubre Jr. or Brad Wanamaker?
Brad Wanamaker was horrific. I mean, come on. Brad Wanamaker was terrible.
That's got to be Wanamaker by a landslide.
Yeah, and
they're teammates.
Yeah,
Wanamaker.
Wanamaker had a good couple of weeks in Charlotte when LaMelo got hurt.
He did.
I was
He really
shocked.
did. Let's go out to Bobby in Oakland. Bobby in Oakland, what's happening, man? How you feeling about Kelly Oubre Jr. possibly moving on to the Charlotte Hornets?
You know, I don't mind him moving on because the hair whip, Oubre wants to take shots. He wants to start. But the aggressive Oubre definitely would have helped it. But he's probably better gone. But you know what? I would have liked to get draft picks for him. Maybe the Warriors try to buy some draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you – I got a question for you. How do you look at Steph and say we're trying to make the playoffs and you trade Oubre for draft picks?
That's what I'm saying.
Dilemma.
Yeah, that's a really good
Bobby,
point.
And that's where I'm at with that. A lot of people, Warrior fans, said you should have traded him at the deadline. You should have traded him for Lonzo Ball. I don't think it was that easy. Is there any reports out there that says the Warriors absolutely could have gotten Lonzo Ball for Kelly Oubre Jr.? Because I think Bob Myers pulls the trigger on a deal like that.
This is such a great from Jared and Fremont. The Warriors averaged 7.5 assists more per game when he was in street clothes.
Wow.
I told you I charted how many times. And I don't want to turn this into like a let's just bash Kelly Oubre. He did no good because he did do some good.
He wasn't a fit.
The fit just wasn't there.
He wasn't a fit.
It wasn't there.
Now, he was good off the bench, though.
For the 5 games?
He was good off the bench.
The 5 games he'll never forget?
Look, those 5 games off the bench, he comes back against Philadelphia. He scores 9. Then he plays 36 minutes at Washington. He scores 24 points, grabs 9 rebounds. Then he comes back home against Denver where the Warriors blow them out. Scores 23 points, grabs 6 rebounds, hits 3 threes. Then he scores 19 against Sacramento, and he has the 10 points in the loss to Dallas when they got shellacked. Remember that at Chase Center? But he played good off the bench.
Yeah.
He played good. Like, he had some very good moments for the Warriors.
And let me just say, with Jared and Fremont, and Jared, I haven't seen you since Kurt's wedding. Hope you're doing well, my man. But
Hi, Jared.
Those
Hi,
numbers
Jared.
are undeniable there, the 7.2 assists per game. But we need to put to bed these guys in street clothes, because when Kelly Oubre was on the bench, those weren't street clothes that he was wearing.
No.
The Pikachu pants, the jean jacket.
Dude, what about the cutoff, the rock shirt cutoff with the 3 choker chains, silver chains? It was like, whoa.
I get very frustrated with that, too, because Anthony Davis is always headlining that, like, oh, yeah, he's in street clothes. It's like, no, he's in a sport coat with a chain and a nice shirt and some nice shoes. Like, he ain't in street clothes. We need to just put that to bed.
What are street clothes? Like, what would the current street clothes attire be? Sweatpants?
Sweatsuits, sweatpants, hoodies. I don't know. We need to ask Stunner Man that.
I'm telling you.
That's a question for Stunner Man.
You know, I got a couple of them tracksuits from Adidas, and I love them. I got my red one. I got my gray one. Your boy got that Lululemon ABC jogger, and I'm telling you, I'm never going back.
Wow.
The Lululemon ABC jogger, I'm real bougie with it. I'm telling you right now, if you're in on the Lululemon ABC jogger, your life has changed forever.
I still feel like ripped jeans may be a street code. That may be part of the code in the streets.
I'm imagining you in the 90s at Kaplan's on Market with your pant leg rolled up, and you're just up against the liquor store.
I never had
there
the
on
pant
Market
leg
Street.
rolled up.
Don't lie.
I'm
With
not
the
a pant
Timbos
leg.
right near the Timberland store.
No, I was never a rolled up pant leg. That was the LL Cool J.
Yeah.
I was never. No, I wasn't that guy.
It did have its moment at St. Mary's Park back in the 90s.
That wasn't my thing.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
I
you
was
guys
not
remember
that guy.
The
I was
pant
not
leg
that
rolled
guy.
up? You guys remember that?
Absolutely. With the rubber band.
Yeah, I
you get
know
the
you
rubber
do.
band.
We're old. What about these guys?
Langford's young.
I'm too young for that.
Yeah,
You don't even
come
remember
on.
that?
No.
That was a thing.
No, let's go to Charles and El Sobrante. Charles, what's happening? You're on the Morning Roast.
Hey, Bonte, how you doing this morning?
Good, man. I can't complain.
What about me?
I got you, Shafty. I'm coming around to you.
That's what my wife said.
Yeah, I know it. I just need you to pump the brakes a little bit, Sasky. you know, at the end of the day, we all support the Warrior players. They come, they're here to support us. They're here to play hard. We get behind them. You know, Oubre knew the deal when he was coming in. He knew Clay wasn't here. And if he was going to be around, he knew he had to battle with Clay. He couldn't have expected to start. So, you know, he had to find his way. He knew the culture coming in. He knew what to expect.
Right.
At the end of the day, Joe, I wanted something from him. I wanted, you know, if he wasn't going to stay with us, I wanted sign and trade. I wanted picks. I wanted something. But you know what? I'm tired of this bull. I'm tired of going through the process and listening to him and not listening to him. Like you had that diatribe that he put out this morning. I don't know what the hell that means.
It's gibberish.
So, you know, let's move on, fellas.
I'm with you.
And I'm with you, Charles.
Good call, Charles.
Good call,
call back
Charles.
again. Hopefully
no
I can
doubt.
grow all the way onto you at some point.
Charles, he's funny, man. That was a good call there. But look, and Kelly Oubre Jr., like, I'm not mad at a player saying in his prime, I don't want to come off the bench. I want to start because I think I'm a capable star. Now, is there a little delusion there? Maybe you're not an all-star. Like Russell Westbrook said back in the day, not everybody's an all-star.
The chances of being an all-star are very slim.
Very slim.
And if you're Kelly Oubre, I'm going to say 0.
I'll give it 0.5. I mean, 0.5% in the Eastern Conference.
Self-awareness.
But you know what? It is what it is, man. The Warriors gambled. They tried it. I get that they paid a lot of money in luxury tax, but here's my philosophy on that. It ain't my money. It ain't your money. It's Joe Lacob's money. And if Joe Lacob decided, he gave the green light to say, hey, Bob, go get Kelly Oubre Jr. I want to make the playoffs.
Look, that 17 cost him $80 million.
It did.
Okay, and I can understand that would be a tough check to write. If I'm being real with you, like if you're gonna take that out of my account, that would be tough.
Hey.
And this guy's out here just aloof. Like when I think of aloof players, you can be an aloof outside linebacker.
Right.
You can be an aloof backup power forward.
Right.
You cannot be an aloof starter on the Golden State Warriors for Steve Kerr. Like, I'm sorry, they should have known that on the front end. I think it was the best they could do. Well, it just didn't work. But I also think he's just completely aloof. I think that's the greatest way to describe him.
But you know what? He was coming off a great year with Phoenix.
Totally different circumstances.
And you come from Monty Williams and that culture. It looked like Kelly Oubre Jr. had matured.
It looked like Phoenix didn't miss him at all.
They didn't miss him. They didn't miss him. Cam Bridges, well, they bring up Chris Paul. So you bring in a Hall of Fame point guard. Yeah, you elevate your game, you catapult, and you win some big games. And I know the bubble, they went 8-0. But Kelly Oubre Jr., Nash Solomon, our very own Nash, said Kelly Oubre Jr. helped fix the culture as well. They give him credit in Phoenix for some reason.
Credit leaving?
They give him credit. They give him credit for giving Phoenix.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for coming here and changing the culture and leaving.
Hey, man, they traded him to OKC. Hey, this segment is presented by Golden State Lumber. Open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're going to fight all the time about Kelly Oubre Jr. Everybody's ripping on this guy. Monday through Friday with some locations open on Saturday. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com for more information.
I just want to close the chapter for Kelly Oubre. That's all. And it's nothing against him personally. It didn't work. I'm fatigued by Kelly. I'm fatigued by the random. Was it Panic at the Disco? Get out of here, dude.
Let's go to Gal in Fremont. Then we'll get to Austin, Jesse, and Rich here on the Morning Roast. What's up, Gal?
Hey, guys. Just kind of like pointing out the fact that every dollar spent is going to be multiplied by a couple times. So it's really about $60 million in Joe Lacob's pocket if we got that Kelly Oubre contract reciprocated.
Yep.
Thanks.
So, okay, and look, I have been pounding the table on the money, right? But B, let me just put it this way. If you're already $175 million in, all right, and you're worth whatever, $3, $4, $5 billion, and you know me, I'm always caping up for the millionaires. I mean, at that point, like I told my wife, we're about to go to San Diego, right? And she's looking at different hotel rooms. I'm like, look, if I'm going to spend a lot of money, what's a couple extra bucks if we like the room with the ocean view a little bit better? Okay, this is our first trip in a long time going somewhere unique. I'm like, spend a little. I understand wanting to save money. No one ever ran a great business saving money. They run great businesses, growing profit. You know how you grow profit? Deep runs into the finals. And I cape up for the billionaires all the time, but not on this one.
And one thing that call shows is that there is no fan base in the NBA that is as well educated on the luxury tax than the Warriors fan base. We know all about that now.
Too much about it. I'm so tired of talking luxury tax here. Let's go to Jesse. Jesse in San Jose. What's up, Jesse? You're on a Morning Roast.
Hey, fellas. I got a couple points. I was going to say the Oubre and then Iguodala idea of coming back. But the Oubre wasn't a fit. More, I think, of attitude really than skills.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, the minute you heard him say he's not a bench player, that's not the exact moment he's telling everyone. That's an attitude that he's had the whole time he was over here, right? So that's why I think he didn't fit. And, he can go get his money somewhere else. That's fine. There was a gamble. Clay's coming back, and Moody could be a way better version than Oubre. But the only reason I would say Iguodala would be a good addition would be for the mental part of the game that he can kind of teach, and some of the younger guys like Kuminga and Moody can kind of pick up off Iguodala, because Moody could be an Iguodala type of player.
Right.
He has a defensive awareness for a young, I think he's a sophomore, junior. But I think and even if you have to pay him a little bit for his age, like the minimum for his age, he's not going to bring a lot to the team, but I mean, just growing the younger guys, I think that would be a good fit for the future. And you get one of Steph's good buddies back, and I don't know. That's my opinion.
I hear you.
I understand all those intangibles that we want to quantify for Andre Iguodala. Moody's very different from him because Moody's three-point shot is spectacular. You know what I mean? In terms of the form versus Iguodala's jump to the apex. Although Iggy was clutch, no doubt about it. What am I paying Draymond Green and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson for? If I'm going to give those guys, that's your veteran leadership. Right. You don't need to bring in another ridiculously old guy to teach everyone. Isn't that the stuff that everybody tells me every single day Draymond's bringing to the table?
No doubt about it. It's a great point. Girl Dad on Twitter. Kelly Oubre Jr. position has been more than filled. Signaling we didn't want him back. A sign and trade would have been nice, but whatever. And that's where I'm kind of at. Sign and trade would have been nice. Would have been great. And it still may happen, according to Steve Reed of the Associated Press out there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Still may happen.
I hope it does.
But I'm like, whatever. He said what he said on the podcast. He said about being boxed in by the universe. I don't care that he's walking for 2 years, $26 million. And I would put the odds, as this texter from the 510 said, what's the odds of Kelly Oubre Jr. finishing the contract out in Charlotte?
That's not that's not the argument that I would be like. If I'm here and I'm looking at the whiteboard and I'm part of Bob Myers and Joe Lacob's inner circle, and we're sitting here and we're saying there's only so many moves we can make, and one of those moves was we had to get something out of that slot from Kelly Oubre. Yep. So when you're so up against it the way they are, you're limited, and when you lose out on that slotted money, you're limiting yourself even further.
No doubt.
You could say a second-round pick doesn't matter, and I probably agree with you, B, that a second-round pick doesn't matter in the long scheme.
Imagine trading him at the deadline.
It would have probably been worse than keeping him, because it would have signaled something different, and the fan base would have been up in arms.
It would have been, hey, we're waving a white flag on the season.
But after you didn't make that move, you have got to do, and then maybe they did, I don't know, but you got to do everything in your power to keep that option of getting something back out on the table. And when you lose him for nothing, it's hard for me to sit here and defend that.
This is what we don't know.
And I'm not gonna.
This is what we don't know. Did Kelly Oubre Jr. work with the Warriors to get his sign and trade done?
Come on. Work with the Warriors? He didn't even work with the Warriors when he was getting paid to in a jersey.
So that's what I'm saying. So we don't even know if he wanted to work with the Warriors to get the sign and trade. Maybe the Warriors tried to exhaust every avenue to get him paid and get a sign and trade done, and it didn't happen. We have no idea what went down there. Look, we're continuing on Kelly Oubre Jr. 888-957-9570. It is like Kelly Oubre Jr. for some reason is polarizing around here, despite playing only one season with the Golden State Warriors. We'll continue to roll. Al Guido, president of the San Francisco 49ers, will join us at 8:48 here on the Morning Roast to talk about what's going down at Levi Stadium this season. Of course, I believe they're opening the museum back up today. We got to check that out. Al Guido of the 49ers, president of the 49ers, joining us at 8:48 here on the Roast. We'll continue to discuss Austin. I was about to say Austin Kell. You got me sidetracked.
I got you rattled.
You got me rattled. Kelly Oubre Jr. plus more of your phone calls. Austin, Rich. That's why I said Austin. Austin from the Bay Area. Rich and Fremont will get to you on the other side here on 95.7 The Game.
Listening to Damon, Ratto, and Kolsky. Now, back to the morning roast, presented by Timeless Coffee.
This ain't one of them type of Twitter beats. I don't even take heed to Twitter like that. I thought it was finna be a hee and ha-ha.
With Kate, Vontae, and Shasky.
The great Tony Allen, the Memphis Grizzlies, when he joined the roast. Thought it was just going to be a hee and a ha-ha. Speaking of which, something I want to bring up real quick here before we get back into Kelly Oubre Jr. The 4x1 team, 4x100 team for the U.S. team, their relay team, they lost yesterday. Didn't even make the medal round. They got beat. They came in like 6th.
Been a ho-hum Olympics showing for America.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're still leading medals. The gold medal game is tonight. I think I'll watch that because it's 7:30 West Coast time. So I'll stay up for that as they take on France. And we'll see Evan Fournier and Rudy Gobert. But Carl Lewis came out with the tweet just blasting them. And it was like, whoa, we know who Carl Lewis is. He's got all the Olympic gold medals. He's a beast. He's now the track coach down at Houston, University of Houston. But the great Carl Lewis.
What'd he say?
Man, I mean,
didn't he do a national anthem that was horrific?
The worst national anthem possibly in the history of national anthem.
Okay.
But he said the USA team did everything wrong in the men's relay. The passing system is wrong. Athletes running the wrong legs. And it was clear that there was no leadership. It was a total embarrassment and completely unacceptable for a USA team to look worse than the AAU kids I saw.
Oh.
Carl Lewis coming out. And I was like, wow, that's the juiciest thing to come out of the Olympics this season.
Wow.
This year.
Wow.
It was great.
Carl
Lewis.
Tell us how you really feel.
Seriously.
I mean, geez, Louise.
Fellas, I got some breaking news here, if you don't mind me interrupting the show.
Hit the breaking news sounder.
95.7 The Game breaking news. Brought to you by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today.
This is from NYT Sports. That's New York Times Sports. Andre Iguodala tells Jonathan Abrams, the columnist, he plans to sign a 1 year to return to Golden State. Quote, the opportunity to end it here is just something special. So we're waiting on more details to that, but Andre Iguodala planning on coming to Golden State.
Wow, that's big news here.
Wow.
Andre Iguodala, I'm seeing a quote right here, Jonathan Abrams, their relationship with the fans, their relationship with the Bay, the opportunity to end it there, as Langford just said, was just something special. Andre Iguodala back with the Golden State Warriors. 888-957-9570. Warrior fans, how would you grade this offseason?
Well,
now you got Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody,
look how happy
James Wiseman
you
coming
are so
back.
happy.
I'm just, hey, we got
Are
action.
you big stepping?
As Steiny would say on the midday show, we got action.
I can't wait for their show today. I mean, they've got to have some grab. Honestly, he's right. We got action. It's probably my favorite thing to hear from him.
We got action with the Warriors. We got action with the Niners.
God,
we got action with Andre Iguodala.
You know who's happy?
Making his return. Who's
Guru is going to be so happy that Iguodala's back.
I think homie's going to be fine, bro.
What about?
I love you, Steiny. I love him.
Hey, what about Stephen Curry? Is he happy about this?
You know who's happy? Greenskeepers across the Bay Area are happy that Iguodala is back in town because he is going to a golf course near you.
Andre Iguodala back with the Golden State Warriors.
Not to rain on the parade. Not to rain on the parade because I don't want to. Believe me.
Now do you feel better about Oubre just walking off into the sunset?
Is it a veteran minimum or are they using the mid-level?
Don't know yet.
Because to me, I would like to keep the again, I'm not going to be outraged if he's the mid-level, but I would like to keep the mid-level open in case Schroeder's available because, man, that would be awesome to get him, the kid from LA.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Dennis Schroeder is still out there.
And I'd love him on the mid-level.
And he would want to stick it to the LA Lakers so damn bad.
Yes.
Andre Iguodala. Hey, look. I love this offseason.
I like it.
I love this offseason
but I
so
want
far.
it. I want it to be a veteran's minimum, and I love it. I'll be real.
Bia. You got Bia.
Yep.
Bielitsa. You got Otto Porter Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Kuminga, who we saw in Sacramento the other day. He looks, he's raw. But you imagine the skills he's going to learn from Andre Iguodala, Jonathan Kuminga. Because he's that type of player, but can do a lot more when it comes to scoring the basketball and finishing at the rim. Defensively, Shasky, man. I think you're warming up to this. I think you're warming up to this.
I am. Now, so we need some sort of let's get the band back together type of music, right? I don't know what that would be.
Iggy
Rally
is
the
coming
troops.
home.
Are people happy? Or because I know there's a lot of people that are saying, I don't want the guy. He's too old. We're going too old. Are you happy or not?
I know our guy NTD69 on Twitter out there in DC.
Oh, yeah, my boy.
He's happy. We are back, mofos. The return of high IQ. Iggy, Bia.
Can you save that?
Bialita.
Can you save that? We are back, mofos.
We are back, mofos. Let's go to Richard Fremont.
Oh, my God.
Richard Fremont, are you happy about Andre Iguodala? Forget about Kelly Oubre Jr. Are you happy about Iggy coming back to the Bay?
Hey, what's up, Bonte? What's up, Big Joe?
What's up, baby?
Hey, man, you know what? That is just some tasty morsel y'all just served up. I was ready to come in on Kelly Oubre, but man, Iggy back in town. Oh, I'm loving that. And by the way, Oubre, I'm sorry, man. That last call they called Jesse, he nailed it, dude. At the end of the day, this guy talked himself out of Golden State.
Yep.
He did. His attitude was just not there. Okay, he wasn't ready to be a team player. Telling people I'm not going to come off the bench is like, dude, guess what? You just signed your walking papers. That's why he's not there. But, man, Andre Iguodala back in town, man, I am just loving that.
All right, Rich, we're loving your enthusiasm here on the Morning Roast.
Exploding.
It is exploding right now.
Get on YouTube right now. Get on Twitch. Log in. Search 957 The Game. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Smash that thing. Smash.
It's DJ Jucci.
Let's go.
Hope you're getting right, DJ Jucci.
Yeah, get better, DJ. We're missing you, buddy.
Happy about Iggy. Yes, sir.
God, I want that.
Good morning, family.
Get me Marquise Chris on that veteran minimum, and get me the mid-level. I want Schroeder.
Danker on Twitter. Wow, that's big news. He may keep Draymond calmer this season. A lot of people happy about Andre Iguodala. Yeah, I don't know.
We sure about that part of it?
JW on YouTube. Damn right, doggy. Damn right, doggy. Iggy's back, baby.
Come on, doggy.
Iggy's back. Let's go to Austin in Bay Area.
Give it to
Austin, what's going on? You're on the roast.
What's happening with y'all, man?
I can't complain,
good.
baby.
You sound great this morning.
You sound real happy. Like you're roasting, baby. Not on coffee, but on something else.
Every day. Man, I would be mad. I would be mad about Kelly Oubre walking away, but anybody would be mad about any type of money that's walking away, and you can use it for something. But then down the line, you will get over it because you go, come up on that. But yes, I do like that the Iguodala trade. Like I was telling you guys, we picked him up. We about to get him. He's a younger version of that Kamiga guy. I like that, and like I said, that Moutier guy. He reminds me of Klay Thompson and a little bit of Rodney Hood with a better handle.
Ooh.
That's all I got.
I like that.
Ooh.
Hey, Austin.
Call
Austin
again.
coming with the spice this morning. How you feeling, roasters? 888-957-9570. That's the hotline. That's the text line. What you got for me, Shasky?
Stunna Man just replied to one of my tweets. He retweeted John Curley doing the Stunna Man. We need to do a new Stunna Man, the big step in challenge now that Andre Iguodala's back. I got his text number. Curley, I'm sending it to you right now. He's coming in studio next week with us.
Coming in studio.
But you know what? First, let's welcome back Andre Iguodala.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Woo! Iguodala!
Now.
Welcome back, baby. Lockdown defense. Give me some of that leadership. Give me some of that moxie. Give me some of that dynasty dust. Welcome back, Andre Iguodala. Big shot, Andre. Coming back to the Bay? Come on, B.
2015 Finals.
Sprinkle me, man.
2015 Finals MVP. Now, that's the only way I'm going to let Langford get away with the Dipset beat, because after the Locks bodied them the other night on the versus battle, Dipset looked terrible. But welcome back, Andre Iguodala. You're back. You can play golf in the Bay. You're back in Silicon Valley. You're back with the Golden State Warriors. The 2015 NBA Finals MVP has decided to end his career with the Golden State Warriors. Now they have 8 forwards on this roster with guaranteed deals. He's going to be paired up with Kuminga. He's going to be paired up with Moody. We got Bialita back here. Porter's here. Wiggins is back. Andre Iguodala is back with the Golden State Warriors. Antonio in Oakland.
Let's
How are
go.
you feeling this morning about Andre Iguodala being back here with the Golden State Warriors?
Oh, yeah, I'm fired up, man. It's Andre the Giant right here. I mean,
all his big strips on LeBron and Damian Lillard in playoff games, like, that's what I love. That big shot against Toronto. Then he went to the finals with the Heat. And he picked the Warriors over the Lakers and Nets, two of the top two favorites. So nobody can say nobody wants to come to the Warriors. I mean, he came. So he's going to teach Moody and Kuminga the ropes. And I give this offseason a B+, because I would give it an A, but we didn't get Robin Lopez, man, because that could have been a mid-level.
Yeah.
If we can get Dennis Schroeder
Yes.
for the mid-level,
Yes.
I'll boost it up to an A.
Yes, exactly.
Antonio?
A great call, Antonio. Keep calling back, my friend. Thank you for being part of this show. We mean it. Thomas Rivera on YouTube is just hitting it right now. Iggy is the Golden State Warriors version of Udonis Haslem in terms of leadership, been in the league for many years, and the wisdom that he's going to provide for the youngins.
But he could actually play. He could actually play.
Hey, Udonis don't have to play.
He don't have to play.
Because he's going to take a dude out.
Yeah, he will take a dude out. Look, they have Iguodala. You got Otto Porter Jr. You got Kuminga. You got Moody. You got Wiggins back. And you got my boy Bielitsa. You got Bia in the building. Don't forget about Bia. Now you got Bia. Come on now.
Bielitsa! You know what they say when you do this? We back, mofos!
We back, mofos. Get him up, Bielitsa. Get the threes up. Get the rebounds up.
You know who's going to be getting them up?
Shots up.
Klay Thompson's going to be getting them up. Get them up. Let's go. By the way, when I hear that, I just want to like start just elbowing people.
It's want to bounce.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, sir. Iggy's back.
We're bringing the band back together.
Gene in Oakland, how you feeling this morning about Andre Iguodala? Gene, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, guys. I'm with you though, Joe. I hope he didn't. I hope he didn't get the mid level because I mean, if we have a chance to get Schroeder, that would be wonderful. But I'd be surprised if he settled for the minimum. I still remember when he held us up on that last contract.
Yeah, remember that?
Another $2 or $3 million and another year out of it. Kind of pissed me off.
Me
and
too.
A lot of other fans because it impacted the team's ability to to sign other people. But anyways, but I love the guy. I mean, I got up at 4 a.m. years ago to stand in line and buy his book and have him sign it. It's a great book, by the way, for anybody that hasn't read it. The Sixth Man, one of the most articulate, bright, guys that I've ever seen play basketball. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Gene, did you publish the book? Are we pushing this thing on right now on 957?
I
love you, Gene.
Have a great weekend, Gene. 888-957-9570. I want to go in this direction. Iguodala's back. Oubre moves on, but a lot of people feel good about the draft picks in Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody. A lot of people feel good about Otto Porter Jr. if he can stay healthy, along with Bielitsa. Can Bob Myers, as the 415 says, can we give Bob some effing credit?
Hey, can somebody give Bob some credit?
Well, can we give Bob Myers some credit here? A lot of people have been hard on him.
I've been giving him credit.
A lot of people have been hard on Joe Lacob.
But it's an incomplete project right now. We have to see what the totality of the offseason is before I can give all the credit out that's needed. You still need bigs. You still need I got a team full of 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guys.
You have Wiseman. You have Looney.
Looney is not 7 feet.
But he could play the 5 in today's game.
I mean, and get rejected by foam.
But you know what? Defensively. Look what he did against Embiid. Look at what he did against Jokic.
But Fonte.
And Looney was good defensively against those guys.
I know, and he's held together with duct tape.
Role.
I love him. Get me Marquise Chris.
So you want one more big?
Yes. I kind of like that number 21, that big man that was playing in Summer League. Like, he was athletic. Now, he's only 6'11".
He was athletic.
But, they need another big. That's all I'm saying.
Right now, if you had to grade the offseason for the Golden State Warriors, knowing that they had financial limitations, what would you give their grade? What would the grade be?
I mean, like a B-.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad. But, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure how much he moves the needle, Iguodala does, in terms of, wins over the season.
Right.
I think the value that he's going to provide is going to be all in the margins. Yeah, but also all the stuff that we're not going to see on the court.
Right.
It's not going to be in a box score. I think it's going to be a lot of other things. Again, bringing Iggy on is the exact opposite of bringing someone like Kelly Oubre on. Oubre is about, hey, I'm only going to contribute in the box score, and that's it on my individual statistics. Iggy's all of the nuances and the subtleties, and it gives him another passer in the half court.
That's what I'm saying.
Forget the defense for a second and just the passer. So I'm going to say B-, and that's just being realistic.
All right, I'll give him a B.
Okay.
A solid B. A solid beef. 6'5".
I love their draft picks, though.
I do love
but
the draft
they have
picks.
to develop them.
No doubt.
These are balls of clay that they're going to have to mold.
No doubt about that. 6'5", and they bring the assistant coach over from Toronto, their player development coach.
Oh, I love those moves.
He developed Pascal Siakam, developed OG Anunoby, developed Fred VanVleet, developed Chris Boucher. He's done a great job, and now he's here with the Golden State Warriors. 650. I still want Ben Simmons. Send Draymond on direct flight to the PDX. That is the Portland airport. We discussed that a lot yesterday, a potential 3-team deal, a hypothetical 3-team deal with Ben Simmons coming to the Golden State Warriors, Draymond going to the Portland Trail Blazers, and C.J. McCollum going to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this next caller, Shasky. He calls, and he's had a string of days where he's just unhappy about everything.
Okay.
I wonder if this move makes him happy. And that him is Duriel in San Jose. Duriel, you're on the roast. Yeah. Are you happy about this Iguodala move?
Guys, I love you guys. The thing is that you're putting a bandage on a gushing wound. This guy was done last year. You got another guy that doesn't like to score points, does everything except score the points and stuff. You're living off nostalgia and stuff. Like I said, get used to losing and everything because you seem to be okay with it. And Draymond Green, if I was playing pickup basketball and I saw the way you played and I had next and I came into the game, I would not pick you. You would have to sit on the sideline and think about why you ran up and down that court for 20 to 30 minutes and didn't score any points, and you let LeBron talk you out of your game. The Draymond Green that took David Lee's spot, that was fighting for his respect, is long gone. And you are the problem right now. The people who want to keep this guy around. So go ahead and hold his hand. But when you get to the end of the road and you don't have any more championships, you think barbecue chicken, Draymond Green, you would not be in the league in the 90s. Anthony Mason would beat you up, and Larry Johnson would eat you for breakfast.
All right, Duriel. Have a good Friday and have a good weekend.
Do you think Duriel...
I thought you would be happy about Iguodala being back. I thought he'd be happy about Jonathan Kuminga. I thought he'd be happy about Moses Moody.
Hey, Duriel clearly has a thing against Draymond Green.
That is, gee, I think.
And a lot of people think I do, but I don't know what happened. Most people say, hey, Duriel, did he steal your girl? I'm thinking there was some sort of car accident that the two of these guys got into, and Draymond gave him faulty insurance and fake license plates.
Yeah, I don't even.
Hey, man, he's that. Wow. There's just a lot there. But you know what? I kind of respect it.
I mean, he just went straight. He said, you guys are stuck on nostalgia. You still losing because you are losing.
You know what?
So,
you know
what? I love his passion, though.
No, I do too. From here on out, okay, we need to come up with something. When a caller is either just rambling nonsense, we're just going to flush them. We're going to do the Pete Franklin. I'm going to actually give an ode to the originator of sports talk radio in this market, Pete Franklin. We're going to flush them down the toilet. But if they come up with some liquid hot magma, maybe some gunshots or something, I don't know. We need something.
Was Duriel, was that a trash take? Was that garbage?
No, I just think when you're on repeat and you only hit one note, at some point, I got to flush you.
Bay Rob in San Francisco.
Show some versatility,
Are you excited? I guess he's mad because of the KD beef. 408, great knowledge. He ate straight because of the KD beef. All right, Duriel. Call us back on Monday. Hopefully you have a great weekend. Bay Rob in the city. Are you excited about Andre Iguodala?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And the reason why, good morning.
Good morning, Bay Rob.
Happy Friday.
What up?
The reason why is because he's a mentor to the player, so he can help us on all ends, Iguodala, and he could give us a little bit of minutes. So I'm excited about that. But that other player that's calling and whooping about Draymond, he needs to put a sock in it because for the simple fact the work that Draymond don't put in, he's proven, man. We know what Draymond is. Come on, man. Quit hollering about he ain't scoring, he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. But he do every damn thing else. So I don't want to hear nothing about Draymond. You know what I'm saying? We need to look at what's making us better. And I think Iguodala make us better. Draymond make us better as a mentor. So, come on, man. We know what these dudes is. They don't put their work in. We know what we looking at. So quit crying.
I love it.
What we gonna do to make ourselves better?
I love it.
I love it, Bay Rob. Have a great weekend,
Call back
Bay Rob.
anytime. And so Philip Fortalezetta, I hope I'm saying that properly
I
on
always
YouTube.
jack his name up, but Phil's a great guy.
All right. So he's saying that Duriel in San Jose equals Salty Balty, and rest in peace, Salty Balty. So maybe we should call him. Duriel should be Pepper. We had Salty, and now we got Pepper. What do you think? No, I'm dead serious.
Salty. And
I like Duriel.
But you know what,
He
though?
got takes.
He got takes, but it's the same note, right? It's all about Draymond Green.
Yeah, but he brings that spice, that
Salty had takes on everything.
Yeah, that's true.
He had versatility.
Yeah.
So that's a high bar there for Duriel. To earn that name Pepper, you got to give me something more than just Draymond hate.
Yeah.
You can't just hate on Draymond. You got to give me some other stuff.
And I got to say, Bay Rob, a legend. I'm getting texts right now that actually we know each other through mutual friends somehow.
Bay Rob is a legend.
He is
sounds
a legend.
like a legend.
He absolutely is. I'm telling you right now, we've got a legendary show and a legendary audience. Where are you at on Iguodala?
There's a lot of people popping off on YouTube, a lot of people popping off on Twitch.
You like Pepper?
A lot of people, I do like Pepper, but he's got to earn that name.
Yeah.
He's got to earn that name. By the way, quote, in this New York Times article by Jonathan Abrams, Iguodala said he's looking forward to mentoring the team's younger players like the veterans Kevin Ali and Aaron McKee did for him when he entered the league with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Aaron McKee was sick.
It was.
Him and George Lynch on them 76ers.
He said that's a component he feels is often overlooked. He's going to use the kind of Navy SEAL approach he learned in Miami on guys like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and James Wiseman. So he's looking to mentor these guys while helping the Warriors get back to the promised land.
I like it. I like it a lot. You know, we might have to have an OK Corral segment where once a week we let two callers go at it and just like, you know, boom, we'll let Duriel, like if he's in the top slot in terms of haterade, we'll have somebody come at him and we'll pot him up and down and go back and forth and do like a one-on-one once a week.
Like a smack off like Jim Rome.
Yeah, but our own version. I came up as a caller, so you know what? I respect it.
Right, I do respect it as well. Casey and Moran, I respect Casey.
Give it to me, Casey.
I respect Casey. How you feeling about this move, bringing back Andre Iguodala
I'm pumped.
to the Golden State Warriors?
Yeah, gentlemen, good morning. For a marketing, ticket sales, jersey, PR standpoint, and, you know, entering younger players, I think it's a great move. I hope that there's something else planned down the road that they're going to be able to jettison. I won't say his name, Draymond Green, rhymes with. Jettison that salary and that age and get younger and get more Simmons. See what?
Well, you like that Simmons thing.
Who doesn't?
Dude, that Simmons thing took off. Our guy, Brad Gilbert.
I think people are mad at you, by the way.
They are mad at me about Ben Simmons.
Yeah, well, guess what?
What?
Your face is on a wanted poster now.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
they're mad at me about Ben Simmons?
Yeah, you're stirring the pot, Betty Crocker.
Dude,
so what did Brad Gilbert say?
So Brad Gilbert,
and I like this caller.
ESPN,
Casey, he's the man.
He is the man. ESPN, former manager for Andre Agassi, former coach of Andre Agassi. Brad Gilbert said he would do that 3-team trade in a heartbeat. But would Philadelphia do it? He doubts Philadelphia would do it because I think they're in on Dame Lillard.
Oh.
CJ McCollum doesn't quite do it for them.
I got a feeling Dame goes to the New York Knicks, and I think that Phoenix is going to end up blowing it all up. So I don't think a three-way trade with them is going
Portland,
to be.
Portland, you mean? Portland and Philly?
Yeah, what did I say? Phoenix, excuse me. Portland, yes. I think they're going to be blowing it up. That's what I think, especially if Lillard's gone.
Andre Iguodala. Back with the Golden State Warriors, are trying to figure out the details of the deal. Is it the mid-level exception? Is it the veterans minimum? Because that is huge. What if Dennis Schroeder's out there lurking, saying, you know what, I'm going to just learn from Steph and play backup PG with the Golden State Warriors? That would be amazing.
That would catapult it into an A- offseason. Wow. Because you need a playmaker in the half court, and he can hit shots, and he can play make, and he's one of the few guys that can blow by somebody. They don't have a lot of blow-by guys. You know, you need somebody who can blow by someone and get to the lane.
415 saying, come on, Shasky, putting that guy in the same sentence as Salty is blasphemous. You guys need a Ouija board to send Salty an apology. We apologize to Salty Balty.
I love Salty.
Duriel.
That's my guy, dude.
I love Duriel, too. I love
First
Duriel.
ballot Hall of Famer.
Look, we got negative Nancys in our family.
For sure.
What you do is put your arms around him and hug him and say, hey, Duriel, it's going to be all right. But to be a Salty Balty, I need a little more than just the Draymond Green hate. I hear it every single morning. We get it. You don't like Draymond Green. What else don't you like about the Golden State Warriors?
If I was playing devil's advocate on, because again, it's tugging at the heartstrings, the Iguodala acquisition. What's he got left?
That's what I asked earlier this week. What does he have left?
We know what he's going to provide off the court. What's he going to provide on the court? Because there's only so many slots that they got to work with right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go to Khaled and Clayton. Khaled and Clayton, what's happening? How you feeling about Andre Iguodala? What's up, baby?
So, you know, Iggy being back is massive because, you know, with him and Otto Porter Jr., both very similar styles, 3-and-D guys, Otto can learn and be able to have that insurance, where if he does get injured, which, that's the knock on him, he can't stay healthy. You've got Andre right there where they can split some time, because Andre's up there in the, age-wise, but he's going to be a great teacher for all the young guys. But on the sign and trade side of things, in regards to Kelly Oubre, where everyone's sad about that, Steve Reed, who's the AP guy out for the Charlotte Hornets, actually put out a tweet about an hour ago that says he wasn't able to confirm the Kelly Oubre signing, and that he's hearing that there's more moving pieces involved and everyone needs to stay tuned. So the door isn't closed on that. So they may be switching that to a 3-year deal somehow, some way, to be able to bring someone else in as well and be able to do a sign and trade with either the Warriors or some other team. So I'd keep an eye on that.
No doubt, Steve Reed. Great call, Khaled. Great call. Steve Reed from the Associated Press in Charlotte, North Carolina at 6:54 a.m. He says, I have not yet confirmed the Kelly Oubre Jr. signing with the Hornets. I'm hearing there might be more moving pieces involved in this one. Stay tuned.
Wow.
Is there a possible sign and trade still on the table? Because if you're Kelly Oubre Jr. and you're looking at your agent, you got to be like, damn, all you got me was $13 million a year?
Yeah, his agent's
for 2?
fault.
It's not his agent's fault.
I told you he's going to fire him.
But he's going to fire him, and he's going to blame the agent. 2 years? Hold on. Let's revisit this before I sign on a dotted line. What, can we get an extra year? Can I get 3? Can I get 4? Can I get a few more bucks? Steve Reed,
look at it.
AP saying it's not confirmed yet.
I mean, this is like Memphis Bleak thinking he's better off without Rockaware. I mean, come on. The Kelly Oubre is the Memphis Bleak of the Golden State Warriors.
No, Memphis Bleak, wow. I heard from him not too long ago.
Memphis?
Yeah, he was on Song.
The next to come up?
He may have been on the Breakfast Club. He knows he screwed up when he left. He knows he screwed up when he left Rockaware. Rockefeller Records.
I mean, you think?
He was done.
I mean, come on.
You thought you were better than Jay-Z? Come on, man. What's going on with that? 888-957.
He did have a hitter on one of them Jay-Z albums.
He had one. He had a couple hits. He was a good compliment to Jay-Z. A very good compliment, but that doesn't mean that you're a great singles artist. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane, homie.
Exactly.
Get your chicken on the side. Exactly. It's okay to be Scottie Pippen. Yeah. Not everybody could be Michael Jordan.
Well, it's like, we all love E40, but ain't nobody bumping D-Shot. You know what I mean? God bless you.
I love your D-Shot.
I do,
don't
but
do that
come
to
on, I love him.
Don't do that to D-Shot, man.
But come on.
Be Legit has some hits, though.
Be Legit got ridiculous albums. Hard to Be Legit is one of my favorite albums ever.
Dude, I love Be Legit.
I'm Big Steppin' this morning. Do we have that song?
Big Steppin'. Give me that Big Steppin'.
I'm Big Steppin'. 4-5 on me, look like I'm bench pressing.
I'm doing it on YouTube right now. This is the hottest song coming out. Where's he from, B?
He's from the city.
Where's he from?
Page Street, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so we have a video out right now of Bonte and John Curley Big Steppin'. Andre Iguodala Big Steppin' back to the Warriors. We are playing the hottest song here in San Francisco right now. Music scene is popping right now. And it's all over YouTube, all over Twitch. Go on Instagram. You got to see John Curley. It is the whitest Big Steppin' you've ever seen in your life.
Come on. Andre Iguodala back to the Bay Area. 888-957-9570. Are you Big Steppin' like Shasky and I in the studio right now? Are you Big Steppin'? By the way, if you're looking for sports betting content all day long, the BetQL network is now available nationwide on the Odyssey mobile app and website, over 10,000 home and auto-connected devices, and at BetQLnetwork.com. This is wagertainment for every single fan. Morning, afternoon, and night. Betting angles throughout the day. Insights from local and national experts. Entertaining content to keep both the casual and hardcore bettors engaged. Get sports betting tips from the best in the game. BetQL Network, streaming now on Odyssey.
Look, you got to think when Steph Curry signed that extension, right? He was probably like, look, man, you got to save a spot for my boy Iggy, right? Like, you got to think that was on deck. Like, I need a golf partner. If you're not going to have Bazemore here, I need a golf partner, right? At the very least.
No doubt.
So this is a good one. He could be in that David West role now, where it's even more, like, less emphasis on the court, more on the off-the-court stuff.
Man, Klay Thompson coming back.
What an interesting offseason.
Iguodala's back. They bring in Otto Porter Jr. They bring in Bielitsa. They draft Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody.
And I like them.
They brought back, of course, they didn't trade James Wiseman, who's going to be back. And we saw him at Summer League on the bench, was a great sign. You still got JTA Juan Toscano Anderson. You still have Jordan Poole. You know what? I'm not mad at this offseason. I'm really not. 888-957-9570. Warrior fans, how are you feeling about the offseason right now? Al Guido, president of the San Francisco 49ers, will join us at 8:48. We'll talk a little Trey Lance. We'll talk about what's going on down at Levi Stadium. But how are you feeling about Andre Iguodala as we still wait for the details to come through the table here? Is it the vet minimum? Is it the mid-level exception? Whatever it is,
I'm laughing.
Iguodala's back.
I'm sorry. I'm ruining the show right now. But Josiah Johnson, who puts out some of the funniest tweets out there, it's the guy who's in the wheelchair, and he says when Iggy sees Steph at the Warriors facility, and then obviously his grandson or whatever picks him up out of the wheelchair, and they start dancing.
Yeah, like he's right.
He puts that out there, and what does Iggy do? He retweets it with a quote, pretty good, and it's the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Pretty good.
I mean, Iggy's on it, man. He knows what he is at this point.
Austin and San Jose. Austin, you're on 95.7.
You happy?
Morning, fellas. How you guys doing? Happy Friday. Listen, don't want to go negative on Friday, but you guys asked earlier about the grade I would give Bob. I think about the C+, honestly. I don't like the fact that the guy he bought in, Elisa, I'm probably saying.
Bielitsa? Yeah. Bia.
Yes, sir. He can't stay. He can't stay healthy. That concerns me.
Yeah.
Otto Porter Jr., I'm a D.C. guy, so I know a little bit about that. But he was overpaid in D.C., and they felt like they had to give him. I love Georgetown guys, so I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt. So we'll see. But I think Bob's got to do a little bit more for us, man. I mean,
what
shooter, like Joe said.
Austin, what do you think they're missing? A shooter, a big, another point guard, playmaker? What do you think they're missing?
Yeah, just what Joe just said. Joe's got it. I mean, it's a playmaker, somebody that can get to the rim. I got to say it. I hate to say it, guys, but Davion Mitchell looks good. I mean, I don't know if you guys.
No, we saw.
We noticed that. But did you see Kuminga and Moody though?
He's looking good. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Did you like Moody? Did you like Kuminga and Moody the other night in Sacramento?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kuminga, it's gonna be a beast.
Hey, let me tell you something. I don't know if he's gonna make this team. I don't even know if they have a spot for him. I'm not really sure at this point. Gary Payton the third, or was it the second? Is it the second?
I think it's the second.
GP2, okay. I like him.
I do too.
He should be your third point guard. He can't. I want something better than him as the two. That's what I want to use the mid-level. I'm hoping that the Iggy deal is the veterans minimum.
He's tough,
because I'd love to have Schroeder.
He's tough. GP2 is tough.
And you could throw him on some people.
The block shot he had the other night in Sacramento on the fast break, he gets up.
I wanted him to play
into your
at the
grill.
end of the
Yeah,
year,
no, I did too. He had the good stretch against the Boston Celtics. I love the one possession, which tipped me off to him. He had a possession against the Denver Nuggets where he picked up Jamal Murray full court right before the half and stayed in his grill, frustrated Jamal Murray. And I was like, this guy's got some good footwork. This guy's tough.
We got an update. Shams Charania of The Athletic, who is just breaking news left and right everywhere. It is a minimum deal for Iguodala.
Wow, so they still have the mid-level.
Huge. Now I love the deal.
So they still have the mid-level.
Schroeder, let's go.
Updates on the Andre Iguodala situation. He is re-signed with the Golden State Warriors, and it is a 1-year minimum contract with the Golden State Warriors. So for him sticking up the Golden State Warriors a few years ago for a few extra dollars and another year on the deal, he repays them by taking the 1-year veteran minimum. 1-year veteran minimum. That is a huge deal because the mid-level exception is still out there. And if you think Joe Lacob paid all that tax for Kelly Oubre Jr., you better believe he will pay the tax for one more big player. There's somebody out there lurking.
I mean, are we sure they're not in on some Oubre sign and trade thing?
I don't want Avery Bradley.
What if they're signing Schroeder in Charlotte to swap him for Kelly Oubre
Jr.? Maybe that's the moving part here.
I mean, I would love that. I'm just throwing that into the ethos. I don't even know if that's plausible.
Wow. I don't know what's going on.
But you're telling me you wouldn't use Schroeder right now off the bench with this team? You could play him alongside Steph. He going to eat up people in the backcourt.
They still have the $5.9 million taxpayer mid-level to use if they choose to do it.
We're getting the band back together.
If they choose to do it. 888-957-9570. Al Guido coming up in 12 minutes here on the Morning Roast. He's the president of the San Francisco 49ers. How are you feeling about this Warriors offseason right now? You think Bob deserves some credit? Bob Myers, that is? 888-957-9570. Text line's on fire right now. Welcome back, Andre. We love this for Andre Iguodala. Love it for Andre Iguodala.
So, as you were saying, he signs for the minimum. They still
deal.
have the $5.9 million taxpayer mid-level to use if they choose to use it.
Yep.
And we'll end up seeing what ends up happening with the Oubre situation. So,
Charlotte, North Carolina has said that the Oubre Jr. deal is not confirmed yet. There could still be some moving parts there. 888-957-9570. 510 says no on Schroeder. No on Schroeder. Weird dude. Yeah. 510 also says, another 510 number, best offseason for Bob Myers since the logo Jerry West left.
And can somebody give Bob some credit?
I mean, we all love Jerry West, but I feel like we have now disproportionately assigned more credit to him than, yes,
I'm with
he's
you.
awesome. He's great.
Right.
We know how great he is, but let's jump the shark with the Jerry West stuff.
I agree.
Come on.
I agree.
Let's be reasonable a little.
Give Bob some credit, man.
Exactly.
Give Bob some credit, man. He's doing work here. And you know Joe Lacob saying, Bob, if you need to use a mid-level, the green light is on. It's not turning red. It's not even going to blink yellow. There's no caution here. Go green.
How happy
go
is Steph?
fast.
How happy is Steph?
Oh, my gosh. Wow. 650. Reggie Jackson over Schroeder.
I'd love Reggie Jackson. You couldn't watch the Clippers in that second round and that third round without being like, this Reggie Jackson is out of his mind. He's playing unbelievable basketball. He played out of his mind. B, did he not?
No, I love me some Reggie Jackson.
And he wears every accessory that the NBA 2K player can have. He's got the goggles with the sleeves, with the elbow bands.
He's got the long socks, the tights.
He has everything.
He's got wristbands. He's got the mouthpiece. Remember that mouthpiece?
Yes, with the glasses.
He played his ass off.
He played
for the
great.
Clippers.
And again, another playmaker in the half court who can knock down shots, can play alongside Steph, can spell Steph, can go in there and facilitate for that second unit offense. I would love that. I'll take either one of those guys.
Let's go to Tasha and Vallejo.
I'll take either one.
Let's go to Tasha and Vallejo. Tasha, good morning. You're on the road. How you feeling about Iguodala?
Good morning. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Oh, my goodness. This just put a highlight on my day, my week, my month. It's just the first beginning. Andre Iguodala, let me tell you, he is about to bring that championship spirit back. He's about to have Steph, Draymond, Clay, all reminiscing about them days in 2015, that season. I just believe that. I'm super geeked. I'm telling y'all now, sir, I'm super geeked.
Let's go.
That this is about to just bring it back. I just have this feeling. I mean, it's just about to be there.
I feel good about this.
I think he wanted to have a chance to also play at Chase too.
Yes.
So,
good call. Yep.
Yeah, and so I think all this, and then he loved the Bay. He loved technology. I think he's just about to bring his best. Miami was cool, but, this is where it's home.
Let's go.
Great call, Tasha.
Call
Great
again,
call,
Tosh.
Tasha. Great call.
And you know
This is
who's
something
really
I'm-
happy?
What's that? Who's that?
My mother-in-law, Mary.
Is she?
She loves Andre Iguodala.
Wow.
He's so handsome.
Here we go.
He's so chiseled.
My mom's a fan, too.
You see? My mother-in-law thinks he's the greatest.
I'm also thinking
Love you,
about
Mary.
the not only is he going to mentor the youngsters, he's going to help mentor Andrew Wiggins. How much better can Wiggins get defensively with Andre in his ear every day at practice?
Hey, I'm not mad at that.
925. I'm not mad at this
and
either.
I need him as a buffer between Dre and Wiseman, if I'm being real with you.
Absolutely. How about this? 925. What do you think about this, Butch?
Okay.
Sign and trade Oubre Jr. for Terry Rozier.
All day.
Scary Terry.
All day. All day. I would love Scary Terry. Delusional confidence.
Delusional as hell.
And you know what, though? Scary Terry, a big-time player when he needs to be.
Dude, 415 hits it. Kelly Oubre Jr. for Scary Terry Rozier in his Drew Bledsoe jersey.
All day. All day. Actually, I said it when they made the move. Moving off of Scary Terry in Boston was a bad move for them.
Yeah, it was.
It was a bad move for them.
It was. What's coming up on the game brought to you by Stafford Healthcare. We got to get to Al Guido here. We will pivot for just a second.
925.
Talk some 49ers football here. Duriel punching air right now that this woman has better takes than him. Wow. Tasha was great. Call
is
back,
good.
Tasha.
I'm so pumped. I didn't even think about the Chase Center thing.
Wow.
I can't wait to talk to Al Guido. We'll get right back into the Iggy thing after this.
doubt.
But I want to just talk to the president of the 49ers.
Yep,
You think he remembers me?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I don't think so. But Al Guido will join the roast coming up here on 95.7 The Game.
For the 7th year in a row, Stanford Hospital.
I think he's our guy. I think he remembers us, Shasky. I think he remembers you.
Of course.
49ers team president Al Guido on the line right now on the morning roast. A lot of things going on in Santa Clara. Al, good morning. I'm glad to have you back on the morning roast after last time. I didn't think we were going to get you. We were asking you about throwback jerseys, about getting free tickets and all that. But you decided to come back because I think you watched our video from last Saturday salivating over Trey Lance, Al.
I love it. Thanks for having me back on, fellas. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Al. And there's a lot of things happening down there at Levi Stadium today and this weekend and throughout the season. Let's just start with training camp. Having the fans back at training camp, giving you guys a vibe, how cool does that feel after last season going through the pandemic and not having the fans there?
Man, it's the best. It feels normal, right?
Right.
It's good to be out there and see fans, and you know, I love when the rookies are doing sort of the hyping them up. I think it's all good right now. And 8 practices in, 5 down to go. We got the practice in the stadium tomorrow, sort of celebrating Dwight Clark Day. It's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait to see 20,000 of our closest friends, man. It'll be a lot of fun.
No doubt. What about reopening the 49ers Museum today? That's a big deal as well. That museum is really cool. Any new features in there? Any new statues? Mm-hmm. What should we look for with the reopening of the 49ers Museum today?
Well, it's going to be awesome. It's good to have people going back through the museum. And, you know, this year we're, as I think you guys have talked about, we're putting BY into the hall, John Taylor and Patrick Willis. So, you know, those statues will be in there. It'll be fun to kind of see them. I haven't seen them yet. I saw Patrick I saw pictures of Patrick getting his done, but it'll be really good to have fans back in. It opens back up today, as you guys mentioned, and Team Store will be open, so all the throwback stuff will be there. And it'll really be a good test run for us tomorrow, guys, in the sense that we haven't had fans in this building in over 15 months. And so all I'll tell people is, you know, get down there early and bear with us, right? We haven't operated this thing. We were turning the TVs on for the other day for the first time, but I'm really, really looking forward to seeing fans back in that building.
I was looking at a video, Al, of that NFC Championship game in January 2020. It was unbelievable seeing the celebrations, and we went down to the field the other day, the practice field, and seeing all the fans and the vibe. It was so cool. It was awesome. But I want to talk about Dwight Clark Day. You know, we were both young kids when Dwight was playing, but obviously we recognize and appreciate what he did for this team and this community and how he embraced everything. He's my dad's favorite player, and that's bigger than Joe Montana, bigger than any of the other guys, Jerry Rice, and some of the just stalwarts and the pillars of this organization. As someone who got to know Dwight Clark on the side, what does it mean to the organization, to the York family, to guys like John Lynch, to have Dwight Clark Day?
Well, it means the world to us, and it's going to be a shame that Lynch won't be there because obviously we're celebrating and putting him in Canton. We'll be on a flight right after practice to go down there. But, you know, look, I think the alumni, I mean, we sort of stand on the shoulders of giants, and he's one of them. And we wouldn't be here without him, and we know that. We wouldn't be here without the guys who played before the guys that are doing it now. And it really gives us a chance to honor the legacy and the life and the family of Dwight, on top of raising good money for the foundation. And
absolutely,
you know, I sit on the board of the Golden Heart Foundation, which is really kind of spun off from, you know, Dwight and what he wanted and taking care of our own. And so, you know, tomorrow will be sort of the start of that. But I look forward to this coming season. I mean, knowing that we're going to be able to celebrate and have alumni back in the stands and have those Hall of Fame celebrations and alumni weekends. I mean, we missed out on a lot of that throughout COVID. I mean, we missed out on a lot. But just seeing these guys and celebrating with them and realizing what was taken away from us. And now that we're able to do it again, and we're able to hug each other and high-five each other and tell stories. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And you keep talking about just honoring the past, and I think that's one thing. It's hard to do at Candlestick because, you know, municipality, you guys didn't have the stadium is just to yourself, you know, and it was tough to put signage to kind of recognize all of the great players that have been with this organization. But since moving into Levi's, you got that beautiful Ring of Honor, which stands out, and you got obviously the beautiful museum, and you guys brought all the 50 greatest players onto the field. Now you're recognizing the guy I'm wearing the jersey of, Patrick Willis, Bryant Young, all the greats. Has that been something kind of like tugging at the heartstrings of the past? Has that been something that you guys have really tried to dedicate yourself to over the last 4 or 5 years?
Absolutely. I appreciate you bringing it up. I mean, we always say a house isn't a house until it's lived in, right? And I think the reality is we did go through some bumps and bruises opening up Levi's Stadium, and we weren't great. And there was things that we added as we move forward, and now it does feel like home. And you mentioned our run to the NFC Championship game. I said this yesterday. I mean, I can't. Having fans back is one thing, but the home field advantage. I mean, we missed out on that last year. Right? I mean, it was just odd. It was eerie sitting in the building and having white noise. It was just, we saw Levi's really come to life and, frankly, create a real good home field advantage for us. And I'm looking forward to seeing that again. I mean, what I would tell our crew is there will be obviously some COVID protocols you need to abide by. We have mask mandates indoors in our club spaces, and I tell people obviously be careful, but. We're really excited, and I think these first 2 preseason games is a good opportunity for us to work the kinks out as we get ready for that home opener, against the Packers on Sunday night. This place is going to be rocking.
Yeah, and to take it an extra step, I'm a season ticket holder. Get the mobile app, the 49er mobile app. Download that bad boy. Your tickets, everything. If you got an iPhone, it goes right into your wallet. You scan it. You walk right on in. I mean, everything you need is there. I mean, it's really cool. And we didn't really get a chance as season ticket holders to be able to get some of the perks, some of the drinks, and some of the food things that are going on. Remind everybody out there who is going down there, if they are a season ticket holder, for the preseason games and during the regular season, kind of what some of those perks are again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You're doing my job, man. I mean,
I know he's a salesman.
I'm looking forward to it, man. 327, let's go.
Get the check out, man. Pay this guy, man.
I'm telling you, man. Like, just give me the mic. You come over and go. Like, I'll do your work. We can. I'll do some talk radio.
Al, are you ready to talk 4 hours about Trey Lance? Are you prepared for that?
Hey, man, I can talk Trey Lance. I know we got Iggy back in the Bay.
Yep, there you go.
I heard you were a slot receiver. Can you play for this team at slot receiver?
Listen, I was a D3 wide receiver, so I can't play for this team. But the only thing I can do anymore, I can get out there every once in a while and I can pick up hoops with the guys.
There we go.
That's about it. So,
the Warriors need a shooter. Warriors still need a shooter, Al.
Hey, man, I'm 3-point line and 3-point line now. That's how I roll. That's how I roll there. Every once in a while they tell me I got old man game. I don't know if I don't think they cover me. Got hoops, so I'm able to get some free looks. But look, download the app. Definitely download the app. There are new things. The member inclusive menu for season ticket holders. So we went to a member-inclusive menu, so your food and beverage items are included in your season ticket purchase. Obviously, not your beers, but download the 49ers app, get your credit card up and loaded. Everything is cashless. If for whatever reason you forget and you bring cash, we'll have cards that you're able to get. But that will be an important step, and that's what I really want to tell people is, and I've said it a few times, but I'm going to. Look, bringing people back. I mean, we employ, almost 3,000 people a game. If you think about all the transportation, all the security, the guest services, the food and beverage vendors. And so, we all saw it when we got back in restaurants after they opened back up, right? Right. Staffing and all those things, right? Let us go through that. And, again, this is why tomorrow is so big. I mean, not just the Dwight thing, but, frankly, it's just putting 20,000 people in this building. For the first time in a while. So bear with us there. But definitely do all that stuff you mentioned. 49ers mobile app is the way to go.
It's really cool. Al Guido here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game, the president of the San Francisco 49ers. You mentioned earlier about John Lynch going into the Hall of Fame this weekend, and he's already in Canton, Ohio, and it's really cool. What does it mean for the 49ers? And what will we see during the season? What will you guys do to honor John Lynch going into the Hall of Fame? We know about BY. We know about Patrick Willis. We know about the great John Taylor, which has me really excited to see go into the 49ers Hall of Fame. And the throwback jerseys is back. But what about John Lynch? What are you guys going to do for John Lynch?
Yeah, we're working on plans. I don't want to give them away because I know John will get the transcript of this. So we got to surprise him. But, look, it means the world. I know it means the world to him. And being with him these last, whatever it is now, 5 years or so, look, he's a Hall of Fame player and he's a Hall of Fame person. And I've seen him and been at Super Bowls with him when he didn't get the knock on the door and how he handled that and how he congratulated those classes. But he waited his time and he is obviously deserving. And so I can't wait. I mean, Kyle and I and the team and the rest of Prague and I are flying down tomorrow after practice, and we're going to go celebrate him at his party and then be there for his speech. It's awesome for our franchise. It's awesome for him and his family. And, we'll have a surprise for him definitely throughout the year, but I don't want to give it away outside of just saying we'll have
That's awesome.
Yeah, you teased us with the throwback jerseys last time out, and I know fans were jacked up about that.
Right, man. You guys were hitting me hard. I was trying to, Jed was releasing that on the state of the franchise, but you guys got me on that.
I mean, fans have been talking about those jerseys forever. When you guys came out with the all-white throwbacks in that Seattle game, and of course you did it at home against the LA Rams a couple years ago, people were like, we need the red ones. We need the red ones. So we're happy to see the red ones, and a lot of people are ordering that number 5 jersey, Trey Lance. Have you seen Trey Lance yet? Because this area, it is buzzing right now with Trey Lance fever.
Yeah, I've definitely seen him, and I've seen the buzz. And I think all our guys are playing really hard, and we look good out there at camp. So knock on, we continue to have a good camp and stay away from that injury bug. But and the jerseys are awesome. I would say it's probably the easiest decision I ever had to make. I gave Dave Lombardi credit. He sent out a survey, or one of those Twitter surveys a couple years ago with a couple jersey options, and overwhelmingly everybody took the red throwback. So when we were talking about it in our marketing meetings, it was like, all right, when are we going to announce the throwback, or what jersey we were bringing back? And everybody was like, look, we don't have a choice. I mean, everybody wants the red jersey. It was overwhelming support.
Yeah,
and They've been a hot ticket for sure.
Yeah, your boy got his customized one. He's ready to rock it down there. I'm super fired up for this year. I know we got to get George Seifert into the Hall of Fame. We got to get him while he's alive. I just want to see him get recognized
Roger
at this
Craig.
Hall of Fame weekend. But forget all that for a second. Al, I love to throw this at you every single time. And you're talking about the marketing meetings. We got to get the Bill Walsh statue at the field somewhere. I know you have it in the museum, and it's incredible. But on the stadium property itself, overlooking the field. Do we have anything set up this year when we're going to the games? Because we were at Golden One Center for the Kings, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. We're up in this promenade area. I go, but the Coors Light, I think it's the Bud Light section, up above 327 in the upper end zone, it goes off. And I'm like, man, I wonder what new features they're going to have at Levi's. Is there any surprises that you're unveiling this year that I need to, get to the stadium a little early for?
You know what? Not necessarily, like not any statues or anything along those lines. But on that Bill Walsh, I do think we are in constant plans. When we did the Dwight Clark, the catch statues outside, it became very clear to us, because not everybody can get to the museum, right? And so I think there is an opportunities for us to add on to the concourse areas in the years coming up. And so I think you'll see us do that. And look, there'll be all the foghorn stuff, the bringing back of people, right? The celebrations of the unis. The signage will look a little bit different when you get into the building, but
you still have the
we had a good thing going the last time the fans were in the building.
Yes.
We want to keep those traditions rocking.
Get the saloon font still in the end zones. We love that. Do not ever change that out.
Another change that I will that was one of the easiest ones given my Twitter comment.
Yeah.
My ass on the saloon font and the red jersey were off the charts.
Oh, it's so great. I'm so excited to get in there. And I got to say, honestly, seeing the kids get a chance to see Joe Montana and Dwight Clark, those statues, and seeing, my nephews and everybody pose up against them, adults, grown, senior citizens, you guys nailed those. And just seeing how everybody kind of hangs out there. It's a communal gather area. Thank you, guys. You guys done some great work.
And real quick, I just got this note from your guy, Roger Hacker. We love Roger up here at 95.7 The Game. The red throwback sales are 250% higher than the white throwbacks in 2018, with Kittle and Warner being the top sellers. 250% higher than the white throwbacks. That's incredible, Al.
That's crazy, man. Now we just got to put those robes on set. You guys remember the robes like the wide receivers were rocking?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Games, so.
Yeah.
I remember, Devo and Emmanuel Sanders, man. I went in the locker room. It was like they had the robes on over the white. So maybe that's the next launch. We'll see.
We're sucker. We'll spend our money on it. You got our money, Al. That's for
Absolutely.
sure. You definitely got Joe Shasky's money.
I'll see you in the elevator this year, Al, all right? And you can big league me.
And I will say hi this year.
Al, we know we got to get you out of here, man. We thank you so much for always joining us, man. We can't wait. Practice tomorrow, Dwight Clark Day, 20,000 fans at Levi's Stadium. A big step in the right direction as 49er fans get back inside at Levi's Stadium to watch practice. And then August 14th, the first preseason game, we'll be down there, Al, to check out the Chiefs and the 49ers. Of course, we're fired up for 49ers football, and we're fired up to be around our 49ers family down in Santa Clara. Thanks so much for the time, Al.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Take care.
Absolutely. Al Guido, 49ers team president.
Hey.
here on 95.7 The Game, and you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. Download the Odyssey app and listen to that interview on the Odyssey app, brought to you by our great friends at Timeless Coffee. Thank you, Timeless, for getting us through another week and another show. Shasky, what you got?
All right, we're going to get back into Iggy in just a second, but I cannot stress enough how many good things this front office and executive staff, marketing team, whoever you want to give credit to, has done in terms of tugging at my heartstrings as a Niner fan. I think one of my biggest issues with what they did, to end out Candlestick and whatnot, was like not really acknowledging the things that had happened 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years prior, right? Now we're celebrating the 75th anniversary, and you and I went to a game. There were 50 of the greatest 49ers who've ever lived on the field. I was blown away at the legends. And it's something you see the Giants do a great job of, pomp and circumstance, as I like to call it.
Warriors have gotten a lot better at that.
Way better, and recognizing their history. The Niners have one of the richest histories in sports, and they've done a fantastic job kind of looping the modern with the old school and going back and forth. The saloon font, the jerseys, those are no-brainers to me. The pushing the envelope for Bryant Young, getting someone like George Seifert his just due. George Seifert is a San Francisco native, went to Pauley High, okay? He won multiple Super Bowls for this organization. I want to see them trot him out at midfield. I know he's older at this point in his life. He deserves one last hurrah from this fan base.
Not only as a head coach, but the longtime defensive coordinator under those Bill Walsh teams.
Legend.
He's an absolute legend. He's got multiple Super Bowls here in San Francisco. Hell, I saw Bill Cowher at the Hall of Fame. I'm thinking, why not George Seifert? Why not George Seifert? He had a couple good years in Carolina. There's no doubt about that.
Whacked up on the Niners.
He whacked up on the Niners tough after we ran him out of town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So George Seifert, look, I was thinking about this the other day, about the organizations and the front offices. You got Farhan Zaidi, Scott Harris with the Giants.
Okay.
They're doing work, right?
Absolutely.
They're doing work. They got the best record in baseball. 4 games up on the LA Dodgers. Then you got Bob Myers. You got Joe Lacob and company with the Golden State Warriors. 5 straight NBA Finals, 3 championships. And then you got the 49ers where they just clean house and bring in John Lynch. They bring in Adam Peters. You got Al Guido and Parag Barate doing work. And Jed York is step back. And you got Kyle Shanahan as a head coach also making moves. The front offices
killing
here in the Bay Area. And then you still got Billy Beane in Oakland. He's still making moves. The A's are still in the playoff spot right now. We are lucky. I can't think of a region that has these what is the word I'm looking for when it comes to front up? Just the continuity with the front offices. Like you look at New York,
the
right?
level of competency is through the roof. They're all competent,
look at New York,
high-level organizations.
New York, you always got this stuff with the Yankees and Brian Cashman. The Mets are always in disarray. You look at Boston.
The Knicks stink.
The Knicks stink. They
Jets
finally
suck.
made the playoffs last year. The Jets are always firing coaches. The continuity and the competency of these front offices here in the Bay Area is through the roof right now. So 888-957-9570. A lot of things going on with the San Francisco 49ers. Thanks to Al Guido, Roger Hacker for making that happen. But Andre Iguodala is back with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
888-957.
Let's go.
9570.
Welcome back.
Iggy defense, Iggy leadership, hitting golf balls with Steph. Being the conduit between the staff and the court. Being the buffer between Wiseman and Draymond Green. Maybe putting Draymond Green in check a little here and there with some of his subtleties. The cryptic tweets. That often unreliable during the regular season, but come clutch time, that reliable jumper.
That corner 3.
Those hands when he puts palms up when he doesn't think he fouled someone. I am so ready for Andre Iguodala to return. The fan base is with us, and he signed a veteran minimum, leaving the mid-level exception slot open.
Man, I'm jacked up about this. I think this offseason
has
been
show.
really. I think this offseason. I mean, what a week! What a week in the Bay Area.
Unreal.
What a week in the Bay Area when you think about Trey Lance and the buzz that happened last Saturday. What about the 49ers making moves here? And then you get the Warriors with the Kuminga draft pick and Moses Moody, and we see them at Summer League Wednesday night. And they look good in their debuts. Yes, they were raw. Yeah, there was a lot of mistakes there, but you see the potential. Steph Curry Steph Curry signs a 4-year, $200 million, $215 million extension.
It's like the 10th biggest thing this week.
And Steph Curry signs a mega deal, his second $200 million contract, and it's been an afterthought this week. An absolute afterthought. And then Kris Bryant doing work with the San Francisco Giants.
He's so
they
sick.
win 3 or 4 against the Diamondbacks. They just rattled off after losing that series against the Pirates.
Yeah.
They win 2 or 3 against the Dodgers. They win 2 or 3 against the Houston Astros. They go down to the desert. They win 3 or 4. And for the first time since 1941, the Giants come back from a deficit in which they scored no runs going into the 9th inning, and they come back from 4 runs down. First time it happened since 1941 when they were in New York. I think Willie Mays was in diapers when that happened. And the Giants are rolling as they go to Milwaukee. So what a week in the Bay Area, man.
And not only that, John Curley's got 3,000 views on the Stunna Man video, the Big Step and Challenge. It's on the internet. Check it out, 957 The Game. You can't miss it. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds. Hit like, hit subscribe. 2 seconds. That's all we're asking for. And we're also on Twitch. We're on the Odyssey app. It's literally however you want it. Bonte, you think Al Guido saw our video?
There's no doubt he did. There's no doubt he did. Are you kidding me? I'm
feeling kind of good about that.
Al sees what's going on.
You think?
He's talking about Twitter all the time. He's like, dude, I'm getting added about the saloon font. He's getting added about the saloon font. Salon font. Yeah, good sounds of the week there.
That sounds like a French dish.
Yeah, sounds of the week there. Saloon font in the end zone. The red throwback jerseys.
So sick.
Al and the 49ers are feeling themselves. Shanahan, we saw him walk on the practice field. We saw him walk on the practice field.
Big stepping.
Swagger.
That was Shanahan coming out to the middle of the field. When he seen Trey Lance, he was big stepping.
Hey, I'm big stepping. 4'5" on me, look like a bitch pressing.
I'm telling you, what a week.
Hey, you know who else is
It ain't even over.
It's not over, because you know who's big stepping?
Who?
We got Mrs. Langford.
What?
Stephen.
Here originally.
England, right?
I didn't know that.
That's right.
I thought England,
Yeah.
Jenny, I thought Langford was lying about his English heritage.
Yeah, we did.
Like, I thought he just liked the England soccer team. I didn't really think he had an English heritage at all. I didn't think he had the accent.
Yeah, both his dad and me, we're from England originally. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
You know what? I can't even think about how you would reprimand him because your voice is so sweet and so nice and so eloquent. Like, this is incredible. So you're the biggest Andre Iguodala fan ever?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but I am a huge fan, yeah.
What makes you happy about him being back?
Well, I just love him to pieces, and I just think he's such a good asset for the team. And, you know, whenever he comes on, you know that he's going to make a difference and help out. And I just think he's just such a great player, and I just love his wingspan, you know.
You like
so long.
You like wingspan, Sid. He's got the wingspan. He can hit the corner three, and he's going to mentor. He's going to mentor these youngsters as well, right? I mean, with this big wingspan, like Jonathan Kuminga, who has a big wingspan.
You know, that's what I like about him too, is that he mentors the younger players, and he's just really intelligent, and I just love watching him play. So I even read his book. So that was really interesting.
Now, Mom, they do call him the LeBron stopper. Now, now I have this question: who do you hate, or who do you hate LeBron more, or do you love Andre Iguodala more? Which is stronger, your hate for LeBron or your love for Andre?
Well, I'm not really. I don't like to hate. I'm not a LeBron fan, so I'll say I love Iguodala more.
I want to know, just real quick, what was the weirdest thing Steven did growing up?
Oh, goodness. Let me see. There are quite a few instances.
Jenny, let me ask you this. As you think about that.
Thank you so much for coming on here. I'm so sorry.
Jenny, how good does it feel to have Stephen Langford finally out of the house?
Actually, I miss him because he's really fun to have around, I do say. And we do enjoy our sports talk. So, but no, I'm glad he's out and on his own. Oh, not on his own, but away. Yeah, so it gives us more space.
You know what? Everybody's loving you right now.
Yeah,
Jenny,
you are
everybody's
a star.
loving you on our text line, Twitch. They're saying we need a segment with Mother Langford. Jenny, we may need to do a weekly recap with you every single Friday.
I'm feeling that.
Oh, I could do that. I'm really
Yes!
excited, so I'm looking for new things to do.
Yes!
well, hang out with us lunatics, Jenny.
Absolutely.
Every Friday, we're going to make this a segment, the weekly recap with Jenny, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh, okay. Sounds great.
You know what, Jenny, I don't mean to cut you off here. I want to tell you honest to God. This is the honest to God truth. I love your son. You raised a really good kid. He's hilarious. He's hardworking. He's diligent. And now I understand where it comes from. Thank you for coming on with us two idiots, me and Bonte.
We're really proud of him, I have to say.
You should be.
Yeah.
So are you waking up at 5 a.m. to hear him yell, "Yes, sir"?
No, I have done. I have, but not recently. Oh, and one more thing while I'm on. I'd like to give a shout-out to Ray Fosse.
Oh, yeah.
Just heard is not going to be doing any more Ace broadcasts, so that's so sad. So I want to wish him all the best.
Love that.
Absolutely. Even say goodbye to your mother here before we go. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Love you, Mom. I'll talk to you next week.
All right. Okay, then.
Thank you, Jenny.
Jenny's the best.
Jenny, oh
my God.
For a debut.
Unreal.
Jason Aponte, Austin Gale, and Jenny takes the cake.
No question.
Jenny took the cake. What a debut. She's talking wingspans. Shasky.
Someone here saying, call it Jenny from the block. I'm thinking Jenny from the Bach. Worst.
Oh, my God. I don't know if that was good.
Bockwurst is sausage. Bangers and mash.
I know. It just didn't sound right.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't even feel like you guys are killing me.
Dude, let's keep it moving. Let's go to break,
sorry.
man.
I ruined
Jenny,
the whole
thank
thing.
you so much, man. It was great.
I'm so sorry, Miss
more
Langford.
coming up on her roast.
You never know what Guru's gonna say next.
Yeah. I used to sell Kirby vacuums. That's a hard sale.
Oh my God! Were you the kind of guy who would like pull out some sawdust out of your pocket? Oh, sorry about that. It's going on your carpet, man.
Shaker all day long, baby. I hated that job. And then my boss would meet me 4 blocks down the road. How many sales you get? None. Get the car.
That is whack.
Follow Steiny Guru and Dibs on Twitter @SteinyGuruDibs.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast. It could be the day your workforce...
We are big stepping. We put out a video at 6 o'clock this morning, actually like 5:50. Steven was doing his show. I look over at Curly and Bonte, and I'm like, dude, this thing, this big stepping challenge is all over the internet. This guy from San Francisco, Stunna-Man, he does this big stepping challenge, and we've got to shoot out a video. And so I turn, and Curly's like, oh yeah, what was it, Jordan Gomes?
Yeah, he goes, oh, Jordan Gomes, yeah, I know him.
I'm like, what? And now, I love Curly. A lot of the rap stuff that we throw at him goes right over his head.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's Mr. Clean. It goes flying off a bald head. And he knew what big stepping was. He knew who Jordan was. So next thing you know, him and Bonte start big stepping. Now, the first video I shot, Curly's pants literally are falling down.
Fell off his ass.
And he looked
Straight
like
up.
the Johnson & Johnson's baby off the bottle.
It fell off. Like, for a guy who wears slacks every single day and a pullover and a nice button-up shirt, I'm like, you didn't have your belt tight? He's like sagging in slacks, and it falls straight off his butt. And he's like, Joe, you can't post that one. Joe, you can't post that. We got to do it again. Give me a countdown, Joe. And if you look at Curly's face before the video, he's like staring into the camera with the most serious face I've ever seen. And he just starts hitting the big stepping challenge. And it's like stiff, but he's bending his knees.
He was all in.
Look, I gave Curly a damn A+ for doing it.
100%.
An A+ for doing a big stepping challenge.
100%.
I'm like jealous of his big step.
Hey, yours looks pretty weak in comparison.
Come on, Dave. Come on.
I'm gonna be real.
Don't be disrespectful.
Some big Mark Madsen at the Lakers championship parade vibes here going on.
That's a great call.
God.
That's a great call.
Great call.
That's a great call.
That's what it is, essentially. It looks like you're bench pressing while spinning around, basically. And so we put out the challenge. We put out the bat signal. We threw it into the ethos. We already got 4,000 views on this bad boy. Check out 95.7 The Game's Twitter account. Obviously, go on all the different platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're everywhere that can be found. Hit like, hit subscribe. Let's do this. But B, I got to tell you, big stepping into a Friday. Then the news breaks. Andre Iguodala is coming back to the Warriors. Then we find out, it's not for the mid-level. It's for the veterans minimum. So that gives them more money and more wiggle room, if you will, with that mid-level to make another move. And we've also found out that the Kelly Oubre deal might not be done all the way.
There may be a sign-and-trade situation. Steve Reed of the AP out in Charlotte, North Carolina, says that there's still some details to tie up. There could be more moves happening here, a potential sign-and-trade with the Golden State Warriors. It was initially reported that Oubre Jr. signed last night to the Charlotte Hornets for a 2-year, $26 million deal. Well, that may not be the case. Maybe something is still on the table there. We're big stepping with Andre Iguodala. He is back on a 1-year veteran minimum. Al Guido, 49ers team president, joined us at 8:48.
Incredible.
Talking about some of the details going into Levi Stadium. The throwbacks are in. And then we had Jenny, Stephen Langford's mom, come on here. And we may have to do a weekly segment. No joke. With an intro and everything. Because she came on here. She's a big Iguodala fan. But she broke it down. She talked about the wingspan. She talked about his ability to hit the open shot and calm everything down. Very impressed with Jenny's knowledge of sports.
Yeah, if you missed
I don't like to hate.
Yeah.
She don't like to hate either. She's not a hater.
She's the opposite
That's
of
the
me.
best part. That's my part about it.
Well, here's the best part. If you missed it, go on the Odyssey app. Most of you have it downloaded. If you don't, go to your app page, look for Odyssey, AUDACY, search it, hit the thing. You can go back and rewind. Everything we do here at 95.7 The Game can be replayed up to 24 hours. It's all sitting right there for you. We got the traditional podcasts and all that stuff, but we are a multimedia platform. And I'm telling you right now, we're a posse. B, this is a posse. We're an outlaw gang that is roaming the streets of San Francisco right now, looking for new members to join our posse. Hop in, 888-957-9570. I'll say it one more time, 888-957-9570.
Oh, man.
Are you happy with Andre Iguodala coming back? Because I'm thrilled.
Big stepping. Looks like I'm bench pressing. I love that song. Stunna Man's going to join us in the studio next week, by the way.
Absolutely.
Big stepping. He's going to be big stepping right here in the studio. John Curley next to Stunna Man. Big stepping.
And we're going to get the big boss, Matt Nahigian, who I think he's not here. He's in Cooperstown, but we have him on phone right now. Are you ready to do the big stepping, Mr. Matt Nahigian, program director?
What is this?
It's a dance. It's a challenge, like the ice bucket challenge that went all over the internet, and we want you to do it because I think it would be funny.
A challenge? And you got this guy in studio?
Yeah, we're going to get him in studio.
And what's his name? Stunna Man?
Stunna Man.
O2?
Yeah. Curly actually knows him from baseball.
I don't know if I could do that.
I trust me, it will blow up.
Hey, I'm big stepping. 4-5 on me, look like I'm bitch pressing.
And right now, I'm telling you right now, Warrior fans are big stepping because you got to think this, man. Look, who knows what he's got left on the court? But Andre Iguodala, in terms of all of the leadership, intangibles, the psyche, his ability to read the room and kind of be one of the wise men behind the scenes, they needed this. Bonte,
doubt.
when you have two guys that are 18 and 19, and you got someone like Andre Iguodala, he commands respect, and I think that he subtly, without, like Draymond's so in your face with it.
Right.
I think the way Andre conducts business is so good for some of these younger players to learn from.
And from the business side, off the court.
Absolutely.
Keeping your finances. He's good in all those departments. And I've already forgotten about Kelly Oubre Jr. Already. Andre Iguodala comes back. I've already forgotten about Oubre Jr. And I know a lot of people were ticked off about Oubre Jr. and the way the situation went down. A lot of people were not happy that they didn't get an asset for Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, that could still be on the table. But Kelly Oubre Jr., we knew he wasn't a fit. We knew he probably wouldn't agree to a sign and trade deal with the Golden State Warriors. So I've already forgotten about him. You don't want to stay with this culture. You don't want to stick with this vibe with what the Warriors have brewing on, trying to make another push. As the 415 says, Kelly who? Kelly's gone, and nobody is going to lose any sleep over it. Nobody's losing any sleep over Oubre Jr. anymore, man.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm Kelly Oubre. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Tell me how much money I'm going to make this offseason as a starter in the NBA. And the mirror looked at him and was like,
Dude,
you ain't getting no money.
Who are you? You think Kelly Oubre Jr. regrets those podcasts that he went on right before free agency? Probably should have stayed off the podcast.
Hey, look, man, I don't know.
The universe tried to box him in. I guarantee you every GM and coach that had their wish list of free agents on their whiteboard, and they was like, look at this guy. The universe is boxing him in. What?
Yeah,
X
cross.
Just crossed off their list.
So, in terms of, in the last 7-8 years, guys that just didn't fit with the Warriors, what was the tall guy they had at the beginning of last year they traded who was with the Kings?
Oh, Omar Caspi.
No. Willie Cauley-Stein.
Oh, yeah, Cauley-Stein.
Yeah.
And then they had Jason Thompson a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm talking
remember
Willie
him?
Cauley-Stein.
All right.
Just didn't work.
Didn't work.
On any level.
Yep.
Bad body language, Hall of Fame, first ballot, Oubre ain't far behind him.
Dude, Dr. Narab Panya. Great form from Bonte Hill and John Curley on the Big Step and Challenge dance. Minimal risk of knee injury this upcoming sports radio season. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Curly could do a good get low with how low he gets down. Now I see how he got his girlfriend. He must be a great dancer.
He's got some moves, man. Got some moves. And in Oakland, how you feeling about Andre Iguodala?
What a Friday.
What a Friday. What a Friday.
Iguodala, I'm so happy he's back. So happy he's back. He gotta give all he got this year. This his year. I feel like he's gonna retire after this year. He gotta give all he got. And Curry and Green. And when y'all talking about Green getting traded for Ben Simmons,
We're talking about a hypothetical.
I wouldn't be mad at that though.
Really?
Mad at that. I would not be mad at that at all because Ben Simmons, he scores more. Of course, Draymond, he brings a lot of things besides scoring, but that's not what we need.
Wow.
Call again. Honestly,
Anna,
call again,
I
Anna.
like the take.
You know your hoops. I can just tell.
I respect the take.
Absolutely.
I respect the takes. You was talking about yesterday when we were discussing a hypothetical 3-team trade because the report from Jason Dumas from Cron 4 came out. He also, here with 95.7 The Game, you'll catch him on the weekends with Kyle Madsen, reported that Ben Simmons has cut off all communication with the Philadelphia 76ers.
New phone,
and also,
who dis?
yeah, going straight to voicemail. And then he says, I wouldn't mind playing for the Golden State Warriors.
Oh.
Well, we found out that from Brian Windhorst that Draymond Green and Damian Lillard are out there in Tokyo eating dinner every single night.
Oh.
And they're getting closer and closer and closer. So Shaska and I discussed, you know what? What about a 3-team deal between the Sixers, Blazers, and Golden State Warriors?
How much sushi you think Draymond ate in Michigan growing up?
Not much. I can't imagine they had good sushi.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, they are off the lake, but Saginaw, Michigan, sushi, I don't know. But he's feeling it in Tokyo.
For sure.
He's feeling it in Tokyo.
I love Japanese food, all of it.
All day
All of
long. Kelly Oubre Jr. from the 415. It's like Bonte's boy Jet McKinnon said he wasn't going to re-sign with the 49ers. Well, you know what? Bye-bye. You don't have to re-sign with the 49ers. And a lot of people felt like that about Kelly Oubre Jr. Kelly Oubre Jr. Now, Ben Simmons, be interesting. I know he can't shoot. I know he has his flaws at the free throw line. A lot of people are out on Draymond Green, but now with Iguodala back, 888-957, 9570. Before we head off to Steiny, Guru, and Dibs, who have a jam-packed show.
Oh, I can't wait to see what they're talking about today.
How are you feeling about Iguodala being back in the Bay? How would you grade this offseason for the Golden State Warriors? Jonathan Kuminga, number 7 overall. Looks like a stud.
I like it.
Moses Moody, 14. A lot of people said he slipped the 14.
I like
Should
it.
have been a top 10 pick. Young man out of Arkansas. He was the SEC Freshman of the Year. They saying Oubre Jr. to a vet minimum.
He's got to stay healthy.
Got to stay healthy. But he's a 40% career 40% three-point shooter.
Yep.
Bielitsa can shoot the ball, but, it's going to be an adventure.
Hey, if Bia pops off even a little, I can't wait to hear that song.
Bia is going to be banging in the Bay.
I can feel it.
Banging in the Bay.
Just give your boy credit when you're on them pre- and post-game shows.
I probably will not. I'll
Yeah.
probably take all the credit.
Darrell might give me credit.
I'll pat myself on the back for that
That's
one.
fine.
That's what we do here on the roast. It's the doggy dog world, son.
How happy you think everybody is going into this weekend? I mean, like, you got the quarterback of the future just sitting here. Giants top of baseball. Warriors are bringing the band back. I mean, these are the golden days, Bonte. These are the golden days.
These are. What do you think the report's going to be from Santa Clara today? From practice. They're back on the practice field today after taking a
Trey
day off
Lance
yesterday.
ties his shoes better than Jimmy. You're laughing. You know it's true.
The elastic in his jersey looks better on his left and right arm.
Come on.
The
come on.
swagger. What report are we gonna get from Trey Lance?
Well, what's funny?
Guess his completions for the day. Is he gonna go his stat line for the day in practice?
I don't know.
Is he gonna be 13 of 14 for 170 yards, 3 touchdowns a pick? How many rushing touchdowns will he have in practice?
Someone will have a spreadsheet with all the information on there, but that's irrelevant. My eyes tell me what I need to know, and I use the data to back it up if there's a tie or if there's some nuance that needs to be explained. I'll say this, man. One of the things that I've learned in my life is you don't get better on the sidelines. And I know a lot of people are like, you got to marinate, just like Patrick Mahomes, and you got to wait, and you got to learn, and you got to sit from behind. I'm a big believer in you got to cut your teeth. You got to make a bunch of mistakes. You go out there, and you get better through doing, not from watching. Now, I understand there's a fine line here. I'm not saying you throw out someone who's so raw they can't even comprehend what's happening. For example, Alex Smith in year one. Clearly, this guy is more evolved and closer to being ready than Alex was when he came out. And I think that's by nature of the quarterback position being so sophisticated at this point. The kid's going to get a chance to play.
No doubt.
He will play, and he's going to wow the Bay Area. And I'm here for it because the next 15 years is going to be freaking awesome.
To me, it's more of a Matt Flynn, Russell Wilson situation where Matt Flynn signed with the Seahawks for about $10 million. Seahawks selected Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. And once training camp started, everybody was like, wow, we need to start Russ right now. And he started from day one. That's what this situation seems to be to me when it comes to Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. But we got a special guest on the line. We have a special guest.
Who?
We were talking barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier this week.
Uh-huh.
And our boy from East Oakland Smokes, Chef Aaron from Oakland, has called the hotline, and he wants to chime in about the Golden State Warriors.
Let's go.
Chef Aaron with some of the best barbecue in the Bay Area.
Best brisket I've ever had.
Hey, Chef.
Ever.
It's Chef Aaron.
Ever.
What's going on? What's going on, gentlemen? How you doing?
Man, Shasky still talks about me scraping the plate in your backyard. It's some of the best barbecue I've ever had in my life.
Tell me, Shasky, did you share that barbecue sauce?
Bro, what do you think? I put that right down my gullet, and the only person who touched it was me and my wife.
He didn't share a thing, Chef. I still want some macaroni. I still want some more brisket.
And I love your
thing
pops.
That's coming, dude. Your pops is
Your
great
pops
too.
I mean, we might have to get him to do the big step and challenge next.
Oh, he'll be with it, man. I guarantee you. He can move for a big man, big old man.
I love it. What you got on the Warriors?
All right, man. So I'm super juiced about Iguodala, man. You know, I love Iggy. The presence he brings, the IQ and the defense, everything about him, great. Now, I'm thinking, why not trade Draymond and get Ben Simmons? Because Iguodala is going to come in and do the exact same thing Draymond does, but score a little bit more.
I'm with you.
Wow.
I'm with you on this. And Aaron, before you get out of here, tell the people where they can find you on Instagram and how they can help, because you got the best barbecue, in my opinion, and no one knows about it yet. We need to pump it up.
I appreciate it, man. They can find me on Instagram at East Oakland Smokes, or you can visit our website at MexicuNow.com. You can find all our listings, all our weekly events, buy barbecue sauce. We're getting some merch soon, so
all that'll be on the website.
I can't wait. And I'm telling you, I'm making a promise to everybody out there. Once this pandemic eases up a little, the restrictions, and hopefully we can move past it, the restrictions open up, I'm going to get you out there. I'm going to pay for it. We're going to have you catering the butcher shop open when we bring that bad boy back, that big fundraiser, that big golf tournament. Sound like a deal?
That sounds perfect, man. I really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. You guys are great, man. I listen to you every morning.
You're the
Appreciate
best.
you, Chef.
And tell your dad we said what up.
Yeah, tell your
And
dad
your
we said
mom.
what's up.
I
And
got you.
tell your dad to get ready for Trey Lance.
I'm gonna get him to do the stepping challenge, man. I'm gonna send in the video.
Please do it. Stunner Man 02, big stepping challenge. Please do it. And you got to get in that video too, Chef.
He's right, though, about the Andre.
I got you guys, man.
Thank you,
Have
Chef.
a good one, Chef.
Appreciate you, man.
East Oakland Smoke, shout them out. And I got to say, B, we pulled up to his house when we were doing this Elevate Your Tailgate. And we're doing this big barbecue. You can check that out on 95.7 The Game, all the social media platforms. And we step out of the car, and it's you and me, and you're more recognizable. I'm not. And they're like, yo,
That's a lie.
957 The Game, Bonte Hill, what up?
Oh, yeah, the guy across the street. He was walking his dog.
East Oakland loves
randomly,
us.
and he was listening
They
to
love
Steiny
us.
Guru and Dibs, and he had the headsets
Hey.
on. That's right.
They
He was
love
just
us out
randomly
there.
walking. Bonte Shasky, what's up, baby?
Great.
Listening right now. He was jacked up. By the way, I want to throw this at you before we get the side job, Rob.
That was so great.
Adam Schefter, shout out to Chef Aaron. Adam Schefter reported that James Washington, a former 2018 second-round pick, the wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, has approached the Steelers and requested a trade based on his limited playing time last season and so far in the preseason. Now, James Washington, a lot of people don't know who he is. He's a receiver out of Oklahoma State. 2 years ago, in 2019, before Claypool came to the Steelers, 44 catches, 735 yards, 16.7 yards a catch. He's a deep play threat. He's 24 years old, actually 25 years old. He's 5'11", 213. He could be a great slot receiver for the 49ers.
I'm in the
Great
fantasy.
slot.
I'm in the fantasy playoffs last year, and I lost because James Washington caught an 11-yard pass over the middle, got over 5 catches, and got over the 10 yards or whatever it was. I lost by 1 point to Rocco in the playoffs.
Wow.
This guy's a baller. I watched multiple
Oklahoma
games.
State.
But he could work the slot.
Yep.
He could work the middle of the field.
And he could go downfield.
This is a guy the Niners should be in on. I'm dead serious on this.
No doubt about it. James Washington wants out of Pittsburgh. Well, the 49ers flip maybe a 4th or 5th round pick for James Washington to play the slot. He can play. He can really play.
I would love that.
What
do you think he's worth?
Not much. Not much.
What was he drafted?
Second round pick.
I'd throw them a 4th or a 5th.
Right now.
All day.
Right now. Let's
All
go
day.
to Side Job Rob. Side Job Rob, what's happening? Are you happy about Iguodala coming back today? What's up, Side Job Rob?
I'm excited about Iggy, man.
Yeah, let's go. What you excited about?
Iggy has come back to the Bay. Come on, somebody. We got Iggy and Wiggy together running down the court, man. It's going to look nice, man. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be great, man. But what I really want to talk about is Ben Simmons. If he were to come to the Bay, man, all he has to do is pick up the middle, block shots, shoot, dunk it, do what he does best. He don't have to shoot. We got shooters.
Wow.
Yeah. We got
I hear
shooters.
ya.
We
I
got
hear ya.
shooters. By the way, everybody's on the Twitch and the YouTube, and they're all commenting saying, we need Steiny or Guru or Dibs to do the big stepping challenge.
If you get Steiny to do the big stepping challenge, oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm so out on that.
Nah, I think he's in on that.
I'm doing his voice.
Hey, I know that. I think Steiny would be in on that.
I think that would be bigger than Curly doing it.
Dude,
Please.
It would be much bigger than Curly doing it. Guru is going to do it.
Yeah.
He's going to throw on the Ray-Bans.
For
he's
sure.
going to big step in his Cowboys jersey.
And his sandals.
And he's going to have his son do it. We know Goo will do it. And Goo is sauced up with so much swag. Goo is sauced up with so much
Swagalicious.
swag.
Help me, Bonte.
Dude, Steiny doing the big stepping challenge?
We got to get him.
I'm here for that.
help me.
I'm here for that.
I am.
And you know what Steiny could do? He could go to Dana's house, his buddy Dana.
Oh, yeah.
He's always talking
Dana's
about Dana.
good people, man.
You get Dana and Steiny doing the big stepping challenge.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
I'm a man of nuance.
Hey, people are fired up for
They're
Andre.
fired up, man. They are fired up. 888-957-9570. Andre Iguodala's coming back to the Golden State Warriors on a 1-year veteran minimum contract. So the Warriors.
Is there anybody who's not happy?
Right.
That's kind of what I want to know.
There's been a couple. There's been a couple people. There's been a couple.
Really?
The Warriors still have the 5.9 taxpayer mid-level exception left. Mm-hmm. There's some players out there. There's a Dennis Schroeder. there's a Reggie Jackson. People say they need a playmaker and a shooter. How about Reggie Jackson? I would actually rather have Reggie Jackson than Dennis Schroeder, because Dennis Schroeder likes to flop around. He gets into it. Reggie's a baller. I like Reggie a lot, man. And what he did for that Clippers team, the guts they had to go to Utah, beat them in a 6-game series, the toughness he played with. Give me Reggie Jackson all day long. And as you mentioned earlier, he is the guy wearing the mouthpiece, the goggles, the sleeves, the leggings. He's got all the accessories.
All of them.
I want it all.
You know, when you're creating a 2K player and NBA 2K, you're like, all. I want all. All the accessories, all the knee braces, all the elbow pads. I want them all. I'll take either one of them. And they just need a playmaker, a legitimate veteran backup point guard who can knock down shots from 3 and can set up others when need be and can dribble by someone. Like, both of those guys are very good at initiating offense in the half court. I would love either one of those guys at the mid-level. That would be a dream-like scenario. That would be a great use of funds.
That would be a lot of fun here. Steiny Guru Dibs coming up here to take you into the weekend. Of course, DRK later in the day, 2 to 6 p.m. right here on 95.7 The Game. Steiny Guru and Dibs, what do they have lined up? Find out what Madsen and company. I know they're going to talk a lot of Iguodala. They will talk a lot of Iguodala and some Giants baseball as they rally back from a 4-0 deficit in the 9th inning against Arizona yesterday to win that series. A 4-game set. They win 3 games there. The only loss coming to Madison Bumgarner, of course, the former Giant. The first time since 1941, the Giants went into the 9th inning being shut out in a rally from a deficit of at least 4 runs. First time that happened since 1941 when the Giants were in New York City playing at the Polo Grounds.
I got to tell you, I've said it 15 times this year, 20 times this year.
25.
One of the great Giants wins of the year. I mean, just an incredible win. And I just kept tripping. Kris Bryant, man, it hasn't even really sunk in. He's so good, like so good. He leads off that 9th inning with a double. In extra innings, gets a double. He might be the most talented, just raw talent, like overall talent. Buster's unbelievable. I'm talking about everyday player.
Right.
I can't think of a guy more talented. I mean, he can play 5 different positions, effortless swinger, can run, can throw. I don't think he's the greatest third. What's going on?
Breaking news here. Free agent Reggie Jackson plans to sign a 2-year, $22 million deal to return to the Clippers. So there goes Reggie.
I don't blame him.
That's according to Adrian Wojnarowski. Let's go to Sunnyvale.
Okay.
Marine is Sunnyvale. She wants to talk about Iguodala and Kelly Oubre Jr. here on the Morning Rush. What's up, Marine?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Oh, we can't complain. Big stepping into the weekend, Marine.
Friday.
Sounds good. Hey, you're talking about Kelly Oubre, and you keep saying who? So I came up with Kelly Oubre.
That's strong.
That is good.
That's really
strong. That is good stuff,
You know,
Marine. That's good material.
I think it's awesome.
Did
That
he
is
awesome.
awesome.
Annoy you throughout the season, though, to be honest with me? Like, because he kind of annoyed me at times.
I've been annoyed by him, but I've also liked him. You know, it's like he's not consistent, so I don't know how to feel about him. But I love the Warriors, and you diss the Warriors, you diss me.
I love it.
So and I'm from Boston, mind you, and I've been a Celtics fan, but I love the Warriors, and I want to see them do it. And I think Iggy coming back is great. I think his veteran presence is going to mean a lot to the young guys. And I know the fans in this area are going to go crazy. I screamed this morning and called my significant other and said, hey, guess who's coming back?
I love it. I love it.
Marine, great call.
I love it.
Give us a name one more time for Kelly Oubre Jr.
Kelly Oubre? There's my update.
Have a good one. Big step into the weekend.
I love it. I love it. 7:07. Enjoy the morning roast. Not huge on an Iggy pickup. He is a filler on the bench, more injury prone and older. He would not be a closer on this team. Cheers. That's David in American Canyon. I respect that take because in Miami at times he did look shot. He did look shot at times in Miami, but you know Iguodala, he likes to play possum.
But look, I mean, you've added so many pieces. It's about the totality of building out that bench. I don't think it's any one player. Like thinking that Iguodala is going to turn back the clock to what he was just a couple of years ago, like 3-4 years ago, it's probably not going to be realistic. But if you looked at him, what he did in the last 2 seasons, I mean, he was a spot player. He played in spots. I need him to be more of the coach and teaching these guys how to do it on a daily basis, acting as the psychological buffer on this team for many people. And look, if if that's who Steph wants, then that's who Steph gets. I mean, it's very simple. Like this is about satisfying Steph Curry. And if Steph Curry's beautiful basketball mind wants Iguodala, then you go out and you go get Iguodala.
No doubt. Guru's out today. JD will be in.
Oh.
And JD will have some takes on Andre Iguodala. No doubt. JD going up to rolling with Steiny and Dibbs. I'm surprised JD's doing it because he's been down in training camp
he has.
watching Trey Lance. So he's going to give Dibbs a dose of reality on who Trey Lance is. Dibbs has been – I respect Dibbs because practice is practice. But Trey Lance looks special in practice, and the other quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, hasn't looked special. And all the experts are saying Trey Lance may be the dude. So we're going to get Steiny on the showdown today to talk about the return of Andre Iguodala.
Before we get Steiny, do we want to do Sounds of the Week and then go to Steiny? How do we want to do this?
We'll do Steiny and then Sounds of the Week.
Okay.
All right. Steiny ready to go?
1 minute.
We're going to get
it. We got one more call there?
888. I don't see a name here. I don't see a name here on the call.
No big deal.
All right.
I got to say this before we get out of here for the weekend. What a freaking week. You and I set the tone going to see Trey Lance, and we just give our thoughts. Everyone says we're crazy. Within 48 hours, we're like the most tame of the optimistic, Trey Lance people.
How's that possible?
I mean, it's unbelievable. Then you obviously got the Warrior news that Steph Curry's going to sign the massive $200 million extension that has been looming over everyone's head and sports talk radio in general. You got obviously the draft and the free agency. We went up to the Golden One Center, saw Kuminga. We likey. Saw the kid Moody, saw the rest of the Miami Heat kind of put them down, but that's okay. Lots to be encouraged with. You get the Iguodala signing. You get the Otto Porter signing. You get the Bielitsa signing. I mean, it's a great week. And then, the best team in baseball, I don't know, has one of the greatest comeback victories in the ninth inning that they've ever had. It's been a great week, Bonte.
It's been a great week here. And the week got better because my girl, we're going to celebrate our 5-year anniversary tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
And she said our
I love
daughter,
her.
baby Chaz, just fell asleep to Nipsey Hussle. Shed stug tear. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that. How do you all feel about Andre Iguodala? Let's get to Steiny here. Steiny Guru Diz. We talked to Steiny yesterday here on the showdown. Cue it up, Langford, as Steiny gets ready to go with the midday show. JD joining Dibs and Steiny, of course, today. Guru's out. Steiny, good morning. I heard you yesterday. You're fired up. I know you guys took the show to the next level after we were talking about the 3-team
really interesting
deal.
Show.
Very, very good stuff there. Now we get Andre Iguodala back. There's just news bits after news bits falling into our lap here. The return of Andre Iguodala. I think I'm surprised he didn't take the mid-level exception because Andre Iguodala likes his money, and he will take a franchise for every penny they got. He comes back on a 1-year veteran minimum. Should Warrior fans be excited about this, Steiny?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean, to me, it's a little more of a symbolic move than a functional move. But there's no doubt that Iguodala's got a strong connection with his team, with Curry particularly. And I think the Warriors are. I think the Warriors need Iguodala to help them, not. You know how he kind of, what do I want to say, load manages himself a lot?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got to play that role carefully because I think they may need him to produce, but then they're also going to need him to guide these young guys, Kuminga and Moody, assuming both those guys are still here.
Yeah.
I go back and forth. I mean, I'm not sure how much he has left.
Yep.
I'm with you.
But he's still Andre Iguodala, and he's one of the smartest players. The one thing I was thinking, guys, is, he hasn't been here for a while, and people talk about Draymond not shooting. Can you play Iguodala and Draymond Green together?
No. Boy, that's a great question.
I mean, does Iguodala have that open three in him? I mean, he feels like he plays possum, though, so you just never know.
Forget the on-the-court stuff because I'm with you on, I don't know how much he has left. We don't know. I just don't know. I do think when you bring up Draymond, and I said this to B, I think it'll be really good just to have Andre's energy in the room, just to kind of act as a buffer between Dre and all these young guys, and specifically Wiseman. Wouldn't you agree?
I totally agree. I think Iguodala is maybe one of the only guys that can kind of – like he's one of these guys that if Draymond's acting up – Iguodala just kind of has to be there and look at
Icebreaker.
him. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he'll chill out. The other thing I want to hit on, Joe, is what you guys have been talking about. I was just thinking about this. It's like, this is incredible where we're at with our three teams right now. You got unbelievable excitement about the Warriors. They got 2 young players. They're getting the band back together. I mean, that's incredible in and of itself. You got the Giants, the best team in baseball right now, an unbelievable comeback win. You got the I mean, I don't know where the Warriors are going to be, but they got we got 3 contenders right now.
Right.
You want to throw the A's in there? Fine, go ahead.
Yep.
But we may get a championship in the next year or 2 here again.
Steiny, as someone who did COVID nights every night for months and months and months,
God.
talking about lists and, oh my God, let's see what these draft picks can turn into. And thank God we're here where we're at. But I got to ask you about this because we've been doing big stepping all day. We put out a video this morning. You used to have John Curley, who's now our producer. He used to produce Steiny and Guru, and it was an unbelievable show, one of the best the Bay Area's ever seen. But you worked with him every single day. When you opened up your phone and you saw him doing that video and that challenge, what did you think?
Well, I expected Curly to be lousy at it. I just didn't know Bonte was going to be as bad as he was at doing it too.
Hey, Steiny, growing up, they always said I had the white boy disease and 2 left feet, so I've never claimed to be a great dancer, but to be right up there with John Curley, the Big Step and Challenge, I am a little disappointed in myself. I'm not going to lie to you, Steiny.
Well, what's the line in When Harry Met Sally? The white man underbite when they dance. The white guys always have like an underbite when they're starting to dance.
Steiny. That's the oldest reference this show has ever heard since its inception.
Somebody's got to bring it.
Yeah, I love you.
Who you guys got coming up, man? Which guys got coming up?
Hey, we got Herm Edwards at 11:30.
Nice.
He's presenting John Lynch at the Hall of Fame in Canton. Those guys go way back.
Ayuk ties.
Yeah, and they go way back to the Tampa Bay days. Cam Inman's going to give us a camp report, like he's been doing. They're back in pads.
He's been on the money with those. What is his line going to be today, Trey Lance? What are we going to get? 12 of 17? Dude, it's going to be his first bad day in practice?
B, that was the best part when he started adding up all the numbers, Steiny, and you said it, and he goes, actually, he's better than that. And you're like, oh, he's better than that.
Only 2 incompletions,
so
not
good.
3.
We were listening in the car. It was great.
21 for 23 with like 9 touchdowns, and I guess he threw an interception. I'm sure it was not his fault.
No,
of course, I mean, no chance.
Of course not.
Oh,
hey,
God.
I mean, whether he starts week 1 or not, they're sitting on something that at some point is going to be unveiled,
no
and
doubt.
it's going to be a blast.
Well, Steiny, I know, having worked with you, I know you don't get excited over preseasons or exhibition seasons.
It's tough.
But how excited are you about next Saturday? Preseason week 1 for the Niners with Trey Lance going up against the Chiefs.
Well, way more excited than I'd ever be if Trey Lance weren't around.
Totally.
I mean, he's like, seriously, that's going to kind of, dare I say, must watch.
Oh, we've had callers, Steiny, Rob, our boy Rob in San Diego was like, oh, yeah, this finna be bigger than a regular season game. And he was dead serious.
It's going to be viewed. I know that. I want to see. All
right, we're going to be listening in. We're at the end of it. We got to play our Sounds of the Week.
Right,
Steiny, Guru, Dibs, Cam Inman's coming on. They're talking to Herm Edwards. I can't wait to hear it. Give me the Sounds of the Week. What we got?
When I seen him throw that ball, I was like, oh my God. Just watching that game, I was like, Alex, you in trouble, man. Alex, my boy. But that kid right there, he has to be on the field and he has to play. Like, he has to play.
Alex, you in trouble.
You in trouble.
What else we got?
When I seen him throw that ball, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
What else we got?
Dude, what a week.
That's like the 15th best thing this week.
Dude, what a week.
He's as average as can be. He's a sack king. Bielitsa, B.
I forgot about that. Unbelievable.
He's as average as can be.
He's as average can be. And how about D'Lo? Damian Barley jumping the dollars goes, He just got to quit on the Kings. He just quit.
He's as average as can be. He's a sack king. Be a Litza B. What else we got? Anything else?
That's it. Are you kidding me? I'm
feeling kind of good about that.
Al sees what's going on.
You think?
He's talking about Twitter all the time. He's like, dude, I'm getting added about the salon food. Saloon font. He's getting added about the saloon font. Salon food. Yeah. Sounds of the week. I knew that was coming.
Oh, my God.
It's last hour change to Sounds of the week.
Did Jenny make it? Do we have anything else?
Salon food. Salon food. What the hell is that? What the hell was I saying?
Anything else?
I miss him because he's really fun to have around.
Damn straight, Mom. I am fun to have around.
Wow.
I love you, Steven. Hey, can I be real?
Did you almost cry there, Steven, when she said
A little
that?
tear was about to come down.
I don't. Do we have any more sounds? Yes or no? No. Okay. I want to say something. B, hell of a week from you and me.
Been a lot of fun.
I'm kind of sick of you at this point, but I love you. Carly, fantastic job. We had some killer shows this week.
Right.
Langford.
Hey, look.
Unbelievable. I can't wait for Monday.
Hey, and shout out to Steve and Premier Limos and Chris for taking us up to
God.
Sacramento.
Thank you. Yes.
I mean, that happened.
Thank you.
Chef Aaron calling the show.
Yes.
Stunner Man's going to come next week. We got the Big Step
East
and
Oakland
Challenge.
Smokes.
East Oakland Smoke. It's been just fun. Jason Aponte made his debut here on 95.7 The Game. He brought the heat
Absolutely.
from training camp. Been a lot of fun. Langford, great job on the board. Shasky, you brought the heat as always. Curly, Big Step and Challenge, man. I'm so damn proud of you.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm so proud of you. And our roasters on Twitch, YouTube, and the text line, and our callers.
Oh, thank you. Without
you guys
them,
carried
no
us
show.
this week. Applause to all the roasters out there on Twitch, YouTube, and the text line.
I'm going to smash home. I can't wait to hear JD, Dibbs, and Steiny because they're right. There's something cooking here in the Bay Area
There
for
is.
every one of these teams.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Have a great weekend, everybody.
When I seen him throw that ball, I was like, oh, my God.
Listen to Steiny, Dibbs, and Goo from 10 to 2.
We're bringing Cam in.